What is going on, everybody? How's it going? How's your Saturday so far? Welcome to another episode of Chatting with the Comic Community. This is your boy Sean, aka Stay Puft 1983, and I am joined by the always reliable Stone Cold Steve. What's going on, bro?
What's going on, everybody? Hope you're having a good weekend and a good Memorial Day tomorrow.
Yeah, happy Memorial Day to all those, to all the veterans and all that. But yeah, this is going to be another episode, and we're just going to talk about random stuff, And we got Gomez in the chat. What's going on, broski?
What's up, Gomez?
Just going to shoot some random stuff today. We'll throw some comics in there because I know Steve probably got some bangers he's got right there in his hand.
I just got a few different things down. I've been looking through. I got this one, Sean. I dug out of my pile. I love that cover, man. The Venomized, nice right there. The girls. That's how they look when you don't do what they want. That's how they turn on you.
Yeah, I was going through some books, and remember when we was talking about Saturday morning cartoons, I brought up the Cadillacs and Dinosaurs. That short-lived cartoon from the 90s.
Damn, I don't even know if I saw that.
This is like a wraparound. The wraparound cover.
Damn, they even had a wraparound back in the day.
Yeah, and it's Mark Schultz, so his artwork is awesome. Yeah, a couple of I have the original series, that was released on Epic. Here's issue 1.
Damn, I've never seen that. That's a cool cover, though.
Issue 2. I know what's the name? JD would like this, elephant cover.
He wants you to send that to him. I'm gonna need that.
Here's issue 3. Issue 4. And you know what? When I remember when I first read Cadillacs and Dinosaurs, I also thought of the TV show Land of the Lost. Remember that?
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, the 70s show, and then you had the one in the 90s.
Yeah, I remember the 70s one. It was funny as hell, man.
Issue 6. This is the last part. Yeah, I used to love reading this issue I got at a con back in '93. Tell you, I still got a lot of stuff from those con years back in the '90s.
Hey, Sean, you know our epic hunt when we came to visit you and got the quarter books?
Man, I was just looking through. I was looking through the video.
I got 4 of those, right?
Yeah, I was looking through the video of that just yesterday. What's up, Rob?
What's up, Rob?
Hey, Steve.
Hey.
Long
Good
time
to see
no
you, brother. Hope your weekend gets a little better. I saw you had a couple problems with the computer.
Yeah, so the computer that I'm on right now is going to be the one that I'm going to have to do everything from, because the other one, put $3,000 into it. It gave me the Mac equivalent to the blue screen of death. So we'll have to convert everything over to this computer. Lost 2 months worth of stuff, but just means I have to start over. No big deal. I just took it really hard yesterday because it was one thing after another. But what I'm really here for right now is you might know Flashpoint comic, Michael Schmidt.
Michael Schmidt.
Yeah, Vietnam, Jesus. He's a veteran in the Army. He was on Jay Blitz's show a few times.
I think I saw a little bit of that.
Yeah, he's the guy that wound up getting coronavirus. So what wound up happening last night, late at night, he went out. Somebody broke into his house and stole about $40,000 worth of Flash comics, among other things. Slabs, wiring. They tore the place apart. Right now he's at work, And he's in the Colorado area. So if there's anybody that's aware of comics that are for sale right now, that are rare, Silver Age, Golden Age, Flash in the Colorado area, it's probably his. And please contact police.
Definitely, man. You know what, Rob? It might be a good thing to write down your serial number on your slabs to have it just in case something like this happens. You can put that number out that this has been stolen, and when someone tries to sell that, and you can at least check the number, see if that's your book or not. You go through. It's hard to sell stuff without being on eBay.
Yeah, that's exactly what I told him. Everything that he ever got slabbed, CGC should have a census of it, compile a list. And I already saw the videos from Comic Tom about maybe, I don't know, half a year ago or so, where his car was broken into and they stole about $10,000 worth of stuff. And I just told him the same thing that I learned from him and from when it happened to me. Call around in a 50, 75-mile radius for comic book stores, antique stores, hobby stores, because chances are these people wanted a quick turnaround. They knew who you were, either in person or watching us. So this is another one of those things. Don't broadcast your freaking address. That's what I'm afraid of.
Yeah.
But yeah, compile a list, call the hobby shops, because right after you call them, no one that is in the know knows they should not buy stolen stuff, because if you do,
you're going to lose your money. You don't get your money back. They get the stuff, but you don't get your money back. So don't do it. If it looks too good to be true, you better not do it.
Bingo. So if you see some flash for sale that's kind of rare at a cheap price for no reason, you might know why. Look up to see if it's the Colorado seller.
Yeah, man. Damn.
Yeah, that sucks, man.
And stuff like this,
people
want to drop out from the community, not even want to engage anymore, because like, why bother?
Yeah.
But just one asshole going and doing something wrong that can just ruin it for a person.
And
one of us.
It just brings down their morale. You know, they were enjoying what they were doing, sharing comics, talking about comics, and then some asshole come and steal them.
Steal all,
just to make money.
Yeah, and this stuff was mostly from his grandfather. So he had stuff that, I mean, I know that Steve up here punches way above my weight class when it comes to buying older stuff. But this guy had a grandfather that was getting stuff back in like the 30s and 40s. And 50s.
Yeah, man, he's probably got those, all those Golden Age Flash are expensive, man.
I mean, it wasn't everything.
They were called all Flash.
But he brought a bunch of stuff home to work on a video. And he went out at night. He came home and his place was trashed.
Damn.
That's got to be somebody watching his videos and saying, "Oh, this guy," or someone has to know he's not there. Whatever, something.
Someone was paying attention.
Yes, definitely.
I mean, he said that there was a neighbor that had video where it was a black van. These people were dressed up head to toe, 2 people, and I don't know what you could get from that. Oh, I want Rob's kitty. I want my kitty too. My kitty has a bad eye, so I want my kitty too.
What's up, G-Back? Shout out to G-Back, Sanimation 05, and Fresh Princess for joining us.
Oh, we got Sanimation from across the world.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's way over there in UK somewhere, right? Somewhere like that.
Netherlands.
Netherlands.
Yeah.
So it's nice.
Yeah, she had posted a video. She got a AOK. Lots of great 90s books.
I know she said she was liking a lot of those books. I was like, man, I got a lot of those kind of books that she was talking about. She liked.
What's up,
She's into like Witchblade and just that stuff from the 90s with the feminine characters. I love it. And she has like all those ones that none of us have anymore because we just threw them away because, hey, who's publishing Witchblade or Dark, what is it? Dark Child?
Yeah, Owls. Man, you just don't know who's watching, man. God.
We got Sleepy Reader in. What's up, Sleepy?
Any book shown on today's show are all reprints. Do not show.
Oh, hold on a second. I thought I kept it up here. Oh,
you know what would be cool is if there was like some kind of little tracking something in one of the books and they could track them down.
That's possible.
Yeah,
what you're seeing up here isn't a real first print of the first Batwoman. It's the reprint. Yeah, the reprint.
There you go. Yeah.
You know what's on my reading list? What I plan on reading, probably to do a long form video. It's been a long time since I actually read this series, but it's the Absolute Transmetropolitan.
Oh yeah.
I heard somebody saying that was real good.
It is. It's a Warren Ellis series.
I thought
I read every issue. I was
can't remember who
reading
said it.
the day it came out.
It's Absolute is gorgeous. You know, even the back end. But it's been a long time since I've read it.
Yeah, the
What's
first
it about,
stories
Sean?
Oh, go ahead.
Shoot, I'll have to give you a synopsis of it, but I know it's dealing with, you know, it's very political charged. It's dealing with media. It's dealing with, you know, how the world is run.
I'll
And
put it this way: it's Hunter S. Thompson in the future.
Yeah,
And he's on a lot of drugs.
lots of drugs. That's the thing that I take away from it. Lots of drugs.
I've
He's
been
a
on a
hardcore
Breaking Bad binge lately. There's a lot of drugs in that movie.
And even Sleepy knows Transmet is amazing, but it took me a while to fully get into it. I would agree with that. It's definitely something that you really have to immerse yourself into.
It's like 60 issues and a couple one-shots, but it's a pretty self-contained story.
Yeah. But I definitely want to dive back into this world of Transmet.
And the good thing is, it's left open enough where there could be a sequel, and it's now been over 20 years. There has not been one. It's like Johnny Carson retiring, going, you know what? There's my swan song. I'm out. Bye.
Hey, Fuchsia.
Hey, Fuchsia, what's happening?
Definitely check out the recent video I sent her AOK with all her green arrows. She was ecstatic on that. That was awesome.
Yeah, Sean. So, like we were talking about earlier, you know, that hit the hot list. I'm like, yeah, I grabbed 4 for $1.
What are they going for now? Like $35?
They're going up. I know that. I don't know exactly what they're at now, but it's crazy. I told Sean, I said, I'm going to buy something out of here, right? I think I spent 25, $30 or something like that. Sean, something out of here is going to pay for all of that. One of these books is going to get hot. And sure enough, me and Hobby went through and he grabbed a bunch of Amazing Spider-Man.
Show that again, Steve. Show that again. Because I remember when that issue came out, it was right after One More Day.
Yep.
And I was like, here was the thing. I kept being sub to Spider-Man, but I wasn't really reading it because One More Day left a sour taste in my mouth that I didn't want to read those issues. But, you know, because I was a Spidey fan, and this was during the time when I kind of stayed loyal to your characters without actually saying, I just need to cut it loose because of what they did. You know, and that's when I took that break from comics and I came back, that's when I realized that I don't need to be loyal to the character. And that's when I started following the writers and the creators and started paying more attention to them.
Yeah, what they're saying, what they're doing, how they write.
Yeah, because I remember when Ed Brubaker started doing more of his Image stuff, I liked his Captain America run that I read through the trades, so I followed him over to what he's doing. That's when I got Fatale, Fade Out, Kill or Be Killed, and all his other books.
So, Rob, you've been binge watching anything at the house?
Yeah, I got through on a single night last night, Solar Opposites. And considering I was in an awful mood starting the show, going, okay, this is not like Rick and Morty. It's one of my favorite shows. This is terrible. By like the second, third episode, it won me over. By the end, I think it's almost as good as Rick and Morty.
Well, that's good, man. You need something to get you going the right direction when things are going bad.
You have to. I mean, otherwise you're just going to stew about it. This is why
Do
I'm
about it, be
always,
mad about it. Yeah.
yeah. I mean, you have to look at, I mean, maybe you shouldn't go overboard doing it, but during the pandemic, if you have some downtime, I'm looking at this as extra credit time.
Yeah.
And I was looking forward to making videos and everything, and that was keeping me busy. And once that went tits up, I was like, okay, well, now what? I don't want to become one of those people that are going to be binge watching Netflix every single day. Well, just tonight.
I binge watched the crap ton of stuff with my wife. She's so happy. It's got me in a good place for getting comics because she's so happy. I sit down with her every night and watch 3 or 4 episodes of something, or 2 or 3, whatever. So we started with Ozarks. We went through all of Ozarks. It was crazy. Then we've been doing Breaking Bad. We've only got 2 episodes left of that. We'll be done with that.
No spoilers, but I'll say this much. As far as television shows go that nail the ending, that one did it.
God, it's so crazy. He got so crazy. He just went from a regular dude to just, I want an empire now. I'm the greatest. You do what I say. He just went crazy.
Say my name.
Yeah, he said, say my name. Heisenberg.
Heisenberg.
I was thinking his H in his name was going to be Heisenberg, but it was Hartwell or Hartman or something. I was like, damn it.
Well, once you're finished with the show, know that on Netflix that there's a movie that follows it, and I can't tell you anything about it, and you're going to get to the end of the show and go, how the hell are they going to make a movie out of this? And you go, oh.
So what else is it? Hold on, Rob. Let me know. I got to write it down so I don't forget.
It's called El Camino.
El Camino. My wife's going to want to go right into watching that then.
Now, if she's been liking the Ozarks, my best friend, roommate, Heather, she's been watching this other show. It's about, it's another like young, like romance thing set in the Outback. No, the Boondocks. No.
Oh, hold on. I might have watched this.
The Pogues,
in the Carolinas.
What is it?
It's in the Carolinas.
Yeah, that's the one.
Yes, it's got the kids, and there's they're hunting for the treasure, this treasure that's been on the island this whole time, and there's the rich kids and the poor kids, and one of the rich kids it's pretty good. We watched the whole thing. I liked it. I really liked it.
Kind of like a teenage.
Damn, I can't think of the name of it. And I just watched it. Gosh, what is the name of it? Because I watched Mindhunters too.
Outer Banks, that's it.
Outer Banks, yes, Outer Banks. Yeah, it was really good. I was surprised, because it had a treasure hunt feel to it too. God, man, it was crazy. These people writing some crazy stuff, man.
Yeah, Lucifer was good. I think there's going to be another season because after they ended the series on television with Lucifer coming out to his best friend, the police officer that he's only weak around when he's around her and can get shot and possibly killed. Hey, by the way, I'm actually Satan. Oh, now you believe me.
Hey, that's the only thing I would never tell no one, Rob. I would tell no one that when I'm around her. I can be killed.
Well, he was even telling her that, and the entire time she was like Scully from the X-Files going, yeah, okay, Lucifer. Sure, Lucifer. That's just an act, Lucifer. Lucifer, Lucifer, Lucifer. And it just goes over her head that he's telling her the whole time, I'm the devil. And then finally she gets it. And then leaves, comes back and goes, yeah, I'm okay with it now. And they had to come up with the whole storyline to follow suit. So it was a good Netflix only.
Yeah. The Outer Banks was really good. It was the kids, kids would like it because almost all the characters. I love the lady police officer in it, and I don't want to spoil it, but she was freaking smart. That was a smart police lady, man.
Are we talking about Lucifer still?
No, Outer Banks. On Outer Banks. Yeah. You watch Outer Banks?
I watched the whole thing. Yes.
So yeah, the police lady. The police lady was so smart, man. She was on to everything, man. You weren't getting anything by her. She sit down and she's like, you're gonna have to give me something. He would screw her every time, but she liked him.
I'll put it like this. So 2 days ago, you had this woman that claimed that 2 black men tried to rob her of drugs and instead stole her 9-year-old autistic kid, and went to the police with this story. And they found the kid floating in a river about maybe a couple blocks from where it happened. Of course, the mom did it.
Oh, yeah, of course. I'm already like, nah, this is
Like, you
fishy.
tell me a story like this, the cops going,
Yeah.
uh-huh.
Yep.
Oh, tell me more.
That's her. She's
You're
like,
so
quit
guilty.
lying. I already know this. I already know this and this and this.
Oh yeah, Extraction was really good. I mean, you had the cinematographer from like the Avengers movies that worked with the Russo brothers. Of course, that one was pretty fun. I can't say much on the story because I can't remember it, but the action scenes were pretty solid.
I haven't seen it, but I've seen people say it was pretty good. This is the third person.
Yeah, the guy director himself puts himself into danger. This isn't like Quentin Tarantino telling, hey, Uma Thurman, I know I have a huge foot fetish towards you, and I'm a total just coward, so I want you to get in this car on a really nasty road and possibly crash it, and there's no safety precautions. What?
Yeah.
No, this director went, okay, strap me to the hood of the car, and we're doing this. Let's go. And they're just driving the streets of, like, I think Karachi, where there's people everywhere. There's no safety precaution. I'm going, this son of a bitch is going to get killed.
Somebody run out in front of them or anything, man. Holy crap.
Yeah, especially after like that behind the scenes footage from The Dark Knight when they destroy an $80,000 IMAX camera just because I wasn't paying close enough attention.
Yeah, I'd be like, hey man, I need a job. Anybody got a job?
Man, I haven't been watching much of the TV shows y'all talking about. Simply because, I don't really watch much TV or anything TV related. I haven't been into that. Most of the time I'll binge watch stuff, but I haven't been watching none of the shows. I have been rewatching The Wire because me, John's Comics with Kids, and Fire Guy Ryan are planning on doing a show about that. That's what I've been
watched
watching.
some of it. I haven't seen it all, but I used to watch it. Yeah, it was crazy, man. Some of it, you learn a lot of stuff, man. I learned a lot about meth from watching Breaking Bad. I know what pure meth looks like and how you'd cook it.
Yeah, it's not supposed to be blue. If you're actually getting blue meth, it's not real. That's just fantasy on a TV show.
Right? It's 99% pure. I'm the greatest cook.
Man, you never knew about Dark Side of the Ring?
Oh, that is, yeah, from what I hear, super tragic considering what happened with Owen Hart. I remember the night that happened. I'm not a wrestling fan, but back in college, I was watching it. I was watching the pay-per-view of that. I remember looking on YouTube trying to find footage of him falling. And
he's the one that jumped right from the way up high.
Yeah, he jumped. He was hooked to a harness. Hook.
Yeah, this little hook, this little O hook that would barely hold up like 2 comic book boxes. And that's what's attached to him, lowering him into the ring and snap. And the worst part about it is they just told everybody he is passed, go on with the match.
Golly, man.
And there's blood right there in the ring right after he just died, and you still have to go on. I mean, there was the look on the Undertaker's face where your heart melted because you knew what happened. He knew what happened. Everybody did. And it was just eerie watching.
And you know what the funny thing is? This was the first time we see Martha talks about it. His wife.
Man.
I'm sure she was told if you want to get any kind of residuals, you keep your mouth shut.
Oh yeah, they give you the gag order. You can't talk. You can't talk about it. You lose everything.
Yeah, and it's like a carny thing. It's a very intertwined community, and it's like being on a police force. If one of you kind of does something wrong, the other one kind of covers up for you. So that's just the way it works.
Santa Mason says she wanted you to show off the fluffs.
Oh, show the fluffs, Rob. Her eyes
Show off
getting
the
a little
flips. Show off the flips, Rob.
better. Can you see her eye?
Yeah.
Yeah.
She doing any better? Looking any better? Like
A little better. Somebody wrote me the other day on Instagram saying that their cat got that and it was a virus and lost the eye. I'm like, I wish I didn't hear that story.
Yeah, that's
All I heard from the doctor was not a tumor, so that was good. All I know is it was either the other son of a bitch cat or she did it to herself. And knowing that the cat's very much like me, probably did it to herself.
damn. She's trying to get your cat. It's gonna be a lot expensive shipping fee.
Oh, my other cat, the tuxedo cat, there is literally Mr. Scratch, the devil, trying to murder the hell out of my other cat.
My buddy Rob, my buddy had some Persian cats when we were growing up. There was he had 4 of them. I mean, they got all this hair and everything. Man, they came into heat or whatever, oh my God, they'd run through the house fighting. I'm like, oh my, this goes on all hours of the night. I go to pick my buddy up. He tried to break the cat fight up and one bit him right here on his wrist. And every time his heart would bleed, he'd tape that up and go get stitched up. I was like, oh my God, man. For cats.
Yeah, but
Hello, the California blend.
from us, we'll still love them.
Yeah, I got something from California Blend. People probably know what it is, but
The
I
Venom.
don't care.
Is it the Venom sketch cover?
Nope.
No.
She posted one other new thing this week.
Oh yeah. That's right.
Everybody tagged me in it. To make me get it, and it worked. I hope you guys are satisfied. You did it.
It worked. I saw that. I was like, yeah, Steve is gonna snatch this up.
I'll give you a preview. Kind of looks like that.
Yeah.
So Jeff813 tags me in a post of a guy selling shirts of Skeletor, and I got one of those coming too. Thanks, Jeff. You guys are going to cause me that.
Diecast Cook tagged me on a cover homage with G.I. Joe with Snake Eyes and Storm Shadow in it.
Oh,
and you seen it? The one that did Hulk 181? Man, yes, I couldn't resist. I had to buy that, man.
So, hey, some things have to be done regardless, just because the art is so good. You're like, I don't care if the book, as long as it's around something, I'm going to keep it. I'm getting it. So yeah, man. What I also seen another book on that hot list too. Sean, maybe I think it's the Menace one. I think I got 12 copies of that for $25.
But how many books you escaped out of there with a paying for $25? And they, because I know you was going through the Key Collector app and everything.
Yeah, that's what I told you when they added it up. That's why it came to so much. I had a bunch, man. I had a whole short box that far from being all the way full. Maybe 4 or 5 books. It was totally full. Mostly Spider-Man too, but you guys, the stuff you guys picked out for me and I threw in, and just some other books I got out of there. If it's for $25 and I'm not sure, I'm not going to regret it. I'm going to get it.
My Lady Fantastic. You guys get all the good spots.
Man, Rob, we were so lucky. We went to visit Sean, and they had a sale.
Yeah, because it's right after Black Friday.
Black Friday.
That Saturday.
Every book was $25, and it was just boxes. And man, I got on the key.
We were the only guys in the area digging through them boxes while everybody else was playing them games.
They were playing games, playing all these things. Me, Sean, Javi, and Jeff. Man, we're like, oh man, this is $25. Gotta have.
No, this is Florida.
Florida.
This was in Orlando.
Ah, son of a. That's like a 3.5 hour drive for me.
Yeah, that's a good little drive.
Hey, do I have the money? No.
West Point Comics.
Rob, where are you at in Miami? Aren't you near Javi and them?
I don't know where they are. I know that I met Raul in person, Hialeah, at Phil's Comic Shop, because I go there every now and then. One of my favorite places in Florida. But otherwise, I am so far south in Miami. I'm closer to Bake the Snake than I probably am the rest of them.
So you're close to the Homestead area down that way?
Like if you know where the zoo is, I'm a little further south than that.
Wow, man, you're yeah, Bake's probably not that far from you.
That's what I said.
Yeah.
Every time I try and go down to Key West for a hearing and whatnot, I'm like, hey, I'll stop by. And then they just throw me other places where I'm like, well, I can't make any choices for myself because my job makes them for me.
Man.
But here's some things that Lady Fantastic got for me for like 50 cents.
Yeah, she's good, man. Lady Fantastic is good in
DC Universe.
Look at that, man. 50 cents?
50 cents.
Oh man, that worlds collide, man.
DC Universes. These are all DC Universes. Don't think I don't notice that, Rob.
Yes. All 50 cents. So I'm like, yeah, if you see any of those, yeah, grab them out. Because certain people, they're like, they're garbage. Other people, like to me, I know that they're very low print run. And
They're definitely low print runs, and they're definitely worth getting. They're worth getting. Hey, if, on the Key Collector app, I opened it up for the extra $2 a month, and they got a whole DC Universe little category there, and I always go through it. And if I see some, I go on there. I got a couple from Urban Legends. He had them in his variant box. You can get freaking 6 of them for 6 or 7 of them for $20 or something like that. And some of them were $50 books.
Oh yeah, like there's the one, The Adventures of Superman. I can't remember the issue number. I think it's 535. It has Supergirl on it. It looks like it's like a John Byrne sort of sketch. And I need to take this phone call in a second. But that one's like $125. I'll be right back. I need to take this phone call.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah, Sean, man, that one, dude, we could have hunted the whole other side of the thing too. Me and Javi was like,
but you went to the other side and found those Ghostbuster books, and I was like,
I went to the whole other side, but where we were hunting down the aisle, remember we went down this side, and then when we got down to the end, Javi looked over and seen all those books, and he looked at me. I said, "Man, we'll be here for 2 more hours if we go down this side doing the same thing."
Hey,
on the collector
we gotta hook up with G-Back because he's here in Florida too.
Yeah, definitely, man. Anybody in the Florida area, man, that's why I say, man, if you come to the con, Sean, if they do have it in July, man, we can get quite a few people to go there because it's gonna be the first thing opened in a long time.
Yeah,
I just don't want to have to. I don't want to have to be wearing that and go to stations every little thing if it's gonna be like that. But one good thing is I got Ybor City Comics is going to open his shop for all us to go in on, just us going to be in there to hunt through everything.
I got a question.
Yes, I live about 15 minutes from him, Al.
Man, MegaCon's been canceled. The June show of MegaCon's been canceled. They're doing the October show, but I'm not going to go to that one. Yeah,
you're not going to see my ass in any place where there's more than like just a handful of people gathered. If I see people like this close together, I'm out.
Yeah, that's the saying. If you feel uncomfortable and you feel like I wouldn't go to none of that. If you feel like that, definitely don't go. I'm just hoping that if maybe a lot of people won't go to Tampa,
that's why if we don't, I'll be perfectly fine with coming down there. I'll be perfectly fine with going down to Tampa and hanging with you guys in the first weekend of June, or the first weekend of June.
We could do that. You know what I mean? That's why I was asking where Rob lived. If he lived close enough to Hialeah, they're coming down, man. You could ride with them. Right on down here.
I'm willing to drive to like Key West for a job, which is 3 hours. I'm willing to drive. Right now, it's just the not.
Oh yeah. That's why we need that. That's why we got. I got to light up the guys around here. Let them know, man. We need some good deals, man. We ain't been working. You want to get some money? We need some deals.
Yeah, look at my Instagram. Does it look like I'm posting? Look what I just got. Look, this is my best of.
Yeah, Al. tell Al. Yeah, Al's asking it. Yeah, if you need to get anything from Urban Legends or whatever, whatever you get, just tell me, and if I'm there, I'll just pick it up and send it to you.
Florida got some of the best stats. Things stay this way. I'm down for a meetup once work starts back up.
Oh, hell
Yeah,
yeah.
once it starts back up, once they're feeling a little better about things.
Yeah, Bake, if you gather some money together, make an appointment over at CJ's Comics in Broward. They have like the best stuff. I mean,
That's what I
compile.
like. I like to go in where they got. Have you guys watched any of the Elite Comics auctions he's done?
Oh God, yeah. Where is he getting
Jeez.
this stuff?
God, man, he's going to different comic book stores and doing the auctions with them. So he's going, like, since they couldn't go to the cons, they got them all. Man, they had, if you wait and don't buy nothing and wait till the end, man, the prices start coming down and down. And they're like, this was $80. We'll blow it out for $40. I'm like, yeah, now we're talking. You give me 50% off. I'm thinking about buying some stuff.
Oh, it looks like Flashpoint is in the chat right now.
Yeah, he is. I said it earlier. So he's selling everything. Give you some deals. So there it is right there. He needs to recuperate some money.
Yeah, that's what I figured was going to happen. But it seemed like comics didn't seem to go down very much when I was looking on eBay, because I think everyone was home going, buying, thinking the same thing, man, as me, and didn't work that way.
I mean, if you want right now, it'll take me like 3 minutes. I ordered for my birthday last Sunday since I knew I wasn't going to get anything I wanted for my birthday, since my birthday is always just terrible, no matter what. Let's just hands down get that out of the way. So if I'm going to get something, I'm going to have to get it myself. So what I get, X-Men 94. It should be in the mail, I think now. And I got it.
Hey, man, go get that, man. I've never had that. I've had that book for about a week, and I sent it to Bueller for a week.
With this book, we now have 94 through 316 straight.
Damn, that's a nice little collection there, man.
Now I can read it.
Definitely, you can work your way down on those other ones. There's definitely
the
affordable ones in there, but it's those 1 through 10 and freaking geez, they kill you. Number 1 and number 4, they're high now.
I mean, a 1 you can get a lower grade. Here's the thing: I had a 1 for a long time, and I had to sell it. And it wasn't until I went to sell it that I found out that when I initially bought it for $100 back in 1992, that somebody married the cover and the back cover to a different back cover, and I never knew, because what does a dumb 12-year-old know? I was just given like a couple $100 by my parents. I got Giant Size 1 and X-Men 1, both of which I had to sell. That same one with a married cover would still be at least like about $1,000 today. I think I might have gotten $500 for it back in 2009, 2010. I could get it again, but I really think for me, X-Men starts at GSX 1 and 94.
Yeah, because if that's X-Men you like, the other ones don't matter. Mine's just the opposite. I like the 1 through 94, and they're expensive.
That's when I say you're punching in a weight class way above me.
Yeah, that number 1, I've got 4. I've got 3, 4, 6, 7, and 8 of the early ones. So I was kind of working on that, but that number 1, man, is going to be something else, man. X-Men number 2, I looked at.
Steve 1.
I looked at
X-Men 2. Watching.
I looked at X-Men 2 for the last month, man. I almost bought a couple times. I was like, God, I was trying to get a 5 to 6 grade, in the slab. They're just $800, $700, So
and that's the thing I'm always worried about with those type of books, because I know my dumb ass way back in the 90s would take an X-Acto blade and go, "Hey, Marvel shipping."
Yeah,
I don't know personally, by taking a new book and something that's I have an old one here somewhere, and put this overlaid on one another so I could see if perhaps somebody has trimmed.
Has trimmed that off. Yeah, because the Marvel chipping was bad on us. Fantastic Four books and some of those early X-Men was bad.
I gotta go. Good seeing you guys. I have to run. Going to the hospital.
All
It's
All
right.
right, man. Be safe.
Good luck. Talk to you later. And if anybody's seen the stuff from Flashpoint, do hit him up on Instagram or DM me. Well, let's find this guy. Let's get this guy's books back to him.
Yeah,
See you guys.
definitely.
All right, man. Later.
All right, man.
I'll say I'd love to link up with y'all at some point if y'all get together later this year.
Hell yeah, we got to do something, man. It's got to be. This is gonna clear up. This has got to go away.
I would not mind doing another Black Friday thing. After
Yeah.
Black Friday, we get together and hit up the
we'll
shop
come-
while they still doing sales.
Yeah, we'll come. Yeah, especially, man, you need to find out if your boy, that place is, we going there first and as soon as they open. Make sure
Yeah.
no one gets none of them good books for less than a quarter.
But then, Steve, we were the only ones in there digging for books. I can
know, but-
imagine the whole
hey,
day
Somebody could have beat us in there, Sean, and scored some good stuff and we didn't know. Yeah,
with the multiple amount of copies they have for most of those books. You still would have walked out with a copy.
Yeah, I was gonna walk out with some stuff. Yeah, we definitely got to do that. That will be good for Al to come down. Then he can bring his what did he say? His dolly,
His pallet.
forklifting pallet.
Yeah, we gonna have to open the doors, hold them open. He gonna drive in with the fork, park that pallet, and go to work.
All right, see that? Let me see. I got my box below me. He's gonna laugh. Sean. Look at it. All of these are the same book. If the Menace ever does anything, say that book went to $100, Sean, I will be sitting pretty with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Man, he's got to be big time for that to hit $100.
8, 9, 10. I got 11 copies of that for sure.
What issue is that? What issue number that is?
550.
I'll probably have it.
You probably got a copy, yeah.
Yeah, because I think I stayed on to that when it
Yeah,
went to
some of
Brand
the-
New Day. I
some of the
stayed
other
on
ones
to like
I grabbed.
175.
552. I grabbed 559, a few of these copies. Oh,
Feel that cover?
547.
Yeah, I got that.
Yeah, I got a
That's-
bunch of those copies.
That's negative, man.
Yeah. Couple of the symbiote Spider-Man. Hey, man, no one ever talks about this guy right here, Sean. But I just love that cover. I just love that get up of that dude, man. I just don't know where his arms really come out of, man. It's like they drew him and just said, let me throw an arm on him right here.
Oh, that's the Dynamite Spider series.
Yeah, the Dynamite. Did you ever read that? Is it any good?
Oh, I never read it.
Damn. Well, this is number 1. It's a good place to start.
Hey, like I said, you get all types of books.
Another
In
one
there.
of those quarter books, man. You can't beat quarter books, man.
No,
In
you
good
can't.
shape, well, it's worth it if you're gonna speculate and gamble. That's the time to gamble.
Yep.
Man,
best-
my whole box is full of these, man.
Cause what we started at Epic Comics, y'all didn't get much there, but that's where we handed out all the AOKs and stuff in the parking lot.
Oh damn! Hold on, I found a couple more Menace copies. So I'm really hoping the Menace becomes big.
Shoot, he's got to be in the next movie now. I seriously doubt that happened.
Hey, hold on, 2 more copies. Hey,
But it don't matter because you'll AOK them out anyway.
yeah, if they ever hit big, like, oh, y'all be like, man, I need a copy. I need a copy. Like, well, I got 10 still.
Yeah,
I
you'll
got a lot
AOK them out. What's up, Superior Hero Reviews?
What is going on, everybody? What, man? We got quite a few people come in here today.
Yeah.
Hey, this
Well,
is a cover I really like, Sean. I bought mainly for the cover.
Oh, yeah, that's a nice cover.
My boy got that knife in Spider-Man's. Oh man! And this one too. I always like this one. I got. These were all like right in a row. They had a bunch of good covers right in a row.
Yeah, I ain't getting none of the recent
Yeah, the
There's
recent
some
one.
variants. I collect the recent run. I don't think I have any variants of it. Maybe outside issue number 1.
Yeah, I got a couple of those Ryan Brown ones.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what the significance of this one is, Sean, but I got a bunch of copies of that if you need one.
Trying to think of Mr. Negative, because I know that's one of his henchmen. I know Mr. Negative got involved with during that run.
Man, this was me and Javi was deep in them boxes, man.
Man, look, by the time I built up my short box, I was done. My short box was full, I was done.
Hey, Sean, did you score all of the Ghostbusters out of that box? Did you get them all?
Yeah.
Because they were.
Because there was a couple, there was some doubles and stuff.
Yeah, but shoot, man.
Hey, we got Kirk in the house. What's up? What's up, Mind
What's
Shift?
up, Kirk?
Comics on the Mind.
Pop, why don't you pop in, Kirk? You ain't doing nothing.
Yeah, I sent you the link.
Yeah, man. They always check your mail for a link, man. Hey, a lot of times I don't check my mail, and someone sent me the link, and I'm like, damn, like Rod sends it to me all the time. I rarely jump in Rod's show, but he always sends me the link.
That's all good. I did get a few. I don't know if Sanimation is still in the chat, but I did get a few Witchblade books this week. When I was going digging for Fuchsia's Green Arrow, I did stumble upon some Witchblades.
I got all of these stores for $1 too, Sean. They were in there. They're in that same box.
Yep.
I just grabbed them. You never know, man. You never know which one they're going to say next. Oh, this book's hot because in this issue, they didn't say it, but they introduced this character, and you don't know it.
He's doing Uber Eats while listening while biking, so he ain't going to be able to join us right now.
Uber Eats. He's got his food coming to him.
Yep. But yeah, that was so much fun. That's why I really want to come down there to Tampa that weekend and just hang out with you guys and hit up different shops.
Yeah, I'm gonna make sure that Ebor Comics is open because he's got some good books in there, man. And he let him know, man. We looking for some good deals. I'm gonna have everybody in there, and he's got a bunch of top dollar books too. If you ever look on $10 comics, he sells a lot on there.
Yeah, I seen them. I seen those on.
Look at Sanimation. Witchblade? What? Witchblade?
Yeah, I picked up a few Witchblades. Some Michael Turner goodness.
I probably got some books that Sanimation will want, but I don't know if they could get there.
I was thinking of AOK and her a few books.
Yeah, no.
I mean, she's trying to snatch all the women up to be her wives. It's a nice one here. I like this dark cover. Man, Michael Turner passed away too young in life. Remember when I first heard the news? Issue 9. I think I got these in like $1 bins, $2 bins. You can't pass them up for cheap, especially 90s comics.
Heck no, man. Like this was a book, Sean, that was this is like a book I got from what you call it. I'll show it to you when you're done.
Next one will be the last one.
I wanted to show you a few of the Ybor City comics that I got from him. He's got some good books, man. He's a pretty cool dude too.
Go ahead and show it.
Yeah, like I got that book from him.
Oh, what's that? A shark?
Yeah, that's a shark like in the river.
Them teeth ain't sharp enough.
Hey, but they're big enough.
Ain't big enough, ain't sharp.
Hey, look at your boy. He's firing the gun. Your boy right here. Man, she ain't gonna do nothing to that big.
He ain't gonna do nothing, man.
That reminds me of your boy, man, when he fired the gun, Sean, in with Eddie Murphy in the movie. He went pop. You know the movie I'm talking about. Damn, with Eddie Murphy.
Oh, Harlem Nights.
Yeah, Harlem Nights, when your boy, they shot all the machine guns and he said, pop. Shoot one bullet. My boy Eddie Murphy popped up and shot him with 3 shots and killed all 3 of them. 8 shot, I almost freaking passed out. They all laid on the ground dead.
What? And it was 1, 2, 3, all 3 of them done.
Yeah, like they shot all the bullets, like 1 million bullets, and then your boy say, pop, pop, pop. He goes down, he look up and they all dead.
Read Sanimation's comment, man.
Pure porn.
Yep. Well, that's beautiful artwork, that's for sure.
I got some of the
Turner passed away too early in his life.
The Darkness books. I got some of those, Sean, somewhere.
I'm gonna, because I got a couple of Artifacts issues, and I think I got maybe 2 Darkness issues. Those were pretty good. Those were some pretty good stories. Like, I don't have like a lot of complete stories, but when I read them, I'm like, it makes you want to go pick up some more. You know, like complete some story arcs.
Yeah, it would. Yeah, like I got stuck on Silver Surfer Black because I didn't get number 4 for some reason. My shop didn't have it, and I still ain't got it. I'm stuck right there where Nolden chased Silver Surfer all the way back to the planet and it was on his tail, and then I ain't got number 4 to get to the end to get 4 and 5 done. So I don't know what happened.
But you ain't pick up those 2 issues? Wow, you
I
got
only need number 4. I got 5. I couldn't get 4. I need 4. Hialeah is supposed to send it to me. He's gonna send it to me.
Yeah, I saw Javi say early in the chat yesterday was Hialeah's birthday. He ain't say nothing about it.
Yeah, he snuck that in.
But I think is today Biggie's birthday or tomorrow?
I don't know, but he said he got some kind of big time grail or something. He was showing something on the Instagram.
Yeah, Darkness is awesome.
Yeah, it's Top Cow. Let me tell her to hold on. Talk for a second, Sean. Let me see what I got. I would give it to her, but I don't know if it'll get there.
Go ahead, man.
Let me see what I got.
What's up, Cookie? What's going on, bro? But yeah, the Witchblade book's just amazing. No, I'm gonna show a little interior. And there she is. Doing fine, man. Ain't no problem. You ain't got to be sorry that you're late. Shoot, we sometimes be going 3-4 hours. Definitely want to start reading them again. Ian and Sarah. I remember when Top Cow first came out, everybody was falling over Witchblade.
I found a couple of them, Sean.
All right, cool.
I found a couple of Darkness. This was one of them. I think
That's
this
a nice
is
cover.
Darkness number 11. This one was pretty cool. And I thought she might like this one.
Oh, she'll definitely like that.
Divine Right. A girl with a machine
Oh,
gun.
if I'm not mistaken, she gotten because the AOK she gotten today was pretty awesome. Lots of great stuff. G-Back said he looking to go to the Netherlands pending travel ban. So if you want to send anything to her, I'll get them to her. It's pretty awesome.
Yeah, that'd be cool because The Conan I sent to
Man,
Verandre
it still ain't get there.
still ain't there. They don't know nothing. In transit. That's all it says. Week after week. I sent it March 13th.
Man, that's
14th.
crazy, man.
Yeah, it's crazy. It still ain't there.
That is crazy. There's a couple of other books, 90s books that I have.
I got a bunch more of these too. I just have to locate what box I got them in.
Well, Season Press.
Yeah, well, you can damn sure have them. I bought a whole short box full of stuff, and like one book was worth the whole short box. It had like Conan number 2 and 3 in it, and I got the whole box for like $50. And those 2 books were probably worth it by themselves. Number 2 and 3, they were in good shape too.
Best top cow books are a bunch of Tomb Raider 1 variants. I have some more 90s goodness. Some Eric Larson Vanguard issue number 1. It's a wraparound. So wraparound cover weekend.
You got
This is another wraparound cover. Wetworks. Damn, this is a fold out too. You know how it is with fold outs. It's hard to like completely hold them.
Yeah, because it puts that, from being folded all the time. See that line in it.
This was a 50-cent book, I saw this series before. I can't remember how long it went. It was like 30-something issues. But this was getting this again. No, I know the creator of it. Chuck Dixon. Chuck Dixon, he's written a lot of the Batman stuff in the 90s and Punisher. So, got Badger. This always been a fun series for me. This wasn't under, this is First Comics. This was pretty random. But I know this is a David Mack. Kabuki. Then you have Wildcats, special issue number 1. So that's what the other indies I have from the 90s.
Heck yeah, I got a bunch of stuff to put up, man. Still.
Yeah, Fresh Priscilla is saying that she ordered stuff from Europe and Asia in February and only received them this past week.
Yeah. So I'm trying to be patient because of people that like Fresh Prince is telling me, those stories are true. So I'm hopeful he's gonna get it. Because the one I sent him, Sean, is the one I've had since the 90s. It's got Dale Mabry comics on the back on the board and everything. So that's how long I've had it, for freaking like 30 years or close to it. Probably at least 30. So that was like I got another copy, so I sent him that one.
Yeah, it's tough.
You're the only one missing Conan 1, Sean. Everybody else, I think in the whole world's got it. So, but I got some other good stuff.
It'll come my way eventually, man. I'm not gonna, beg you guys like, everybody's passing out Conans and stuff. It'll come my way.
I've been looking and trying to find a good one, but I want to find a good one. Hey, you can get them for good prices though, Sean. That's one book that is like undervalued, so it's still good to get. You can get a good copy, man, a real good copy for like $200. You can get a slabbed up freaking 7.0 if you're patient.
I'm just disappointed that the book you sent to Varangian didn't get there.
Yeah, it's just it's just this new information. Like, yeah, your book has arrived, but it's on a boat. Okay, I know it's sitting there waiting.
Boat.
It's in transit. Man, it can't be in transit for 2 months, man. Nothing takes 2 months, man. Horse and buggy to have been there.
Look at this page from this book. Savage.
Damn.
Kabuki.
Let me see what I got.
This black and white too. This is Act 1, so I'm gonna need Acts 2 and 3. This is the back of it. I found this in my shop. Yes, Sigil is cross-gen. That's why I when I saw it, I was like, I remember this series, but I just remember it because of Chuck Dixon who wrote it. I like Chuck Dixon's work. His like the group. But yeah, I picked that up because Chuck Dixon. I might give it a shot. Uki is nice. I have 2 trades in love. Claiming wife. She be claiming everybody. Any female she claims as a wife, man. I picked up some Kabuki before surgery too. Everybody's been recommending it. Yeah. David Mack artwork is amazing though. That's the one thing I love, about Kabuki and some of the other stuff is David Mack's artwork. But other than that, that's all I got.
I don't know what I did with all them damn. I got a bunch of them Darkness books still for real. So if I ever do find them, just getting them there would be the only problem, unless I give them to your buddy G-Mac or whatever. If he's going, give him when he can take them. Probably be more safe.
Yeah, because
it ain't going to be that many. You know what I mean? It'll be maybe a nice little stack, but it won't be too many. Maybe put them in a portfolio or something.
Hopefully, it can get there safely. But Dan said he's working, so he ain't going to be able to be on.
Yeah, Dan, I haven't seen Dan, and I've seen him posting, but
he's back to working.
Yeah.
I got a suitcase for the comics to deliver. I'm all here for the long legs. Oh man, we definitely have to have her on the show one day.
Yeah, she's got to jump on one day. Once we get them on one time, they'll be all over the place. Talking about this is fun. Fun showing
that's what the show is all about, having fun.
Yeah, man, we hear nothing else. Sucks hearing that dude lost his books like that, man.
Yeah. But things always strike against the person that does that.
Yeah, that karma get him.
Yeah. For all the good karma we do, you do something like that, bad karma's heading your way.
Yeah, like if the deal was too good to be true on books like that, I'd be like, oh man, these are stolen.
But yeah, I can't wait to dive into this Absolute Transmet. This is a beast of a book, man. Like, this is the only Absolutes I have. And, some of my Image Deluxe editions are not as big as this Absolute.
I might need to clean up one day of all these books I got everywhere.
I'm in the process of organizing stuff, too. Which is why I haven't been posting much.
You've just been posting your Spider-Mans, huh? You got to keep up with that Spider-Man.
Got to keep up with that. But other than that, I haven't been posting as much as I want. But it's all good. As long as we do the show. I'll be showing off my 90s trash on your stream, Sean. Hey, we'll dedicate that stream to 90s comics.
Yeah, we don't play.
Whereas people are like, oh, 90s comics, I'm not watching. Like, so what? It don't matter.
There's a lot of
I don't
people
care if it's only like 3 views.
Yeah, we don't care for that. We don't care about all that.
I use this platform just to get together with people and have fun. Talk about what we enjoy. Talk about, comic books, movies, TV, cartoons, video games, and stuff like that. I still plan on doing a video game show. Top 10 big comic boobs. Yeah.
Boobs. Spelling it like that is funny.
I saw that Vampirella cover again. That Perillo cover that I posted a couple of weeks ago.
Well, then if she was here right in a week when we go to the go hunting around here, that dude at Ybor City Comics, he has like 6 long boxes of adult books. He has to turn around backwards so his kids don't see him.
I know that's what Glenn was looking through, right?
Oh yeah, man. Glenn's gonna go crazy, man. We got to make sure Glenn goes, man.
We got
Glenn.
If I come down there, I gotta let him know.
Yeah, you definitely.
I'm gonna send him a message on Instagram, like making a plan. Come down to Tampa that first weekend of June.
So that's
we gonna follow.
That's
we gonna follow the protocol.
That's when is
That's about 2 weeks because I'm off. That's supposed to be the weekend where the rescheduled MegaCon take place.
Yeah.
But no MegaCon. I was like, man, I want to at least hang out.
Yeah.
So we're gonna follow the necessary precautions, with safety and stuff like that, because we got to. But I still want to hang out with people, man.
Yeah, I mean, I'm hanging out with my friends. They seem to, most of the people I know seem to be all right. Ain't had it, or don't know anyone with it. That's all I need to hear.
Hey, you heard that Patrick Ewing caught it?
Do they do that thing to you, Sean, where they check your temperature and ask you if you've been out of the country or any relatives with COVID-19? Have they done that to you at your work?
No.
Yeah, we go to work. We got to sign a paper that says we ain't been out of the country. We don't know anyone with it. Do we? And then they take your temperature. And if your temperature's low, then you go to work.
See, Cookie's having thoughts about it. He was trying to, but he's nervous driving 3 hours with Lucha and Javi. And that's understandable.
What's he nervous about? Their driving? Is it bad? Or does he think they might have the virus?
Like I said, you never know. I don't think so, but like I said, the whole virus thing has gotten people thinking now that, do you want to be around somebody for as long as a 3-hour drive? Isn't the running joke right now that Florida does not follow precautions? Yeah, that's a running joke. But I'm gonna follow precautions.
Hey,
let people go to the beach and be so close to each other. Me, I'm like, I'm gonna stay with the 6-foot rule.
I'm not going to the beach.
Fuck that.
I got a pool out back. I could walk in the dirt. I ain't going in the beach. You can have the beach. Only thing I miss is going fishing, and if I go fishing, it'll be with one of my buddies. And hell, one of you fish on one end, one of you fish on the other. So that ain't no big deal either. Damn, I was trying to. Oh, Sean, you wanna? I'm gonna show you a book I got. I got a big book.
All right.
Ain't no one else seen it, but Hialeah, I think, a picture. I ain't showed it to nobody. Show it to you.
Hey, Cookie, I don't blame you for feeling that way, because I was thinking about it. You know, I was like, as much as I want to hang out with these guys, do I really want to risk it? You know, is it worth the risk? I feel like if we can do it at a distance while still being able to just be around and chat with each other, just not for long periods of time, then I think, you know, we can be safe about it and we can hang out.
Yeah, but just think about it. If you're around them and they got it, I don't think it takes long for you to get it. You know what I mean? I don't know if it's the duration or not, more or less, than if you got it or not.
Yeah.
Yeah, like if Cookie don't want to come, he don't feel like that.
Yeah, I don't blame him.
Yeah, I don't blame. But I mean, I work with guys. There's 4 of us in the truck most of the time, and all of us been all right. But I've known them my whole life. You know what I mean? And they test us every day. They take our temperature and all that.
I only work around one guy at my job. You know, it's just me and him at night, you know. And when the drivers come in, we all maintain distance. You know, I'll sit on my forklift and just wait for them to come by, and we communicate via that. You know, they walk by on the other side, and, you know, if they got a question, I'll speak it to them on my forklift. Like, I'm not going to get off, and, you know, stuff like that.
And you could run that forklift for Al. He'll be like, Sean, can you bring that forklift home from work? Because I'm gonna need you to load that in the back of my van. But yeah, man, I don't blame him. I get it, you know. But I mean, I know Hialeah ain't done nothing. I think Hobby's working from home. I'm not 100% sure on that, but I know Hialeah won't go nowhere. He ain't been doing nothing.
It's just that this virus done messed everything up, man. That, like I said, the whole MegaCon situation and stuff, like, I want to just chill out with you guys, man.
Yeah, I just like it. Ybor City Comics.
Just like when I went back and rewatched that video of me, you, Jeff, and Javi at the shops, I was like, damn, man, I want to do that again.
That shit was fun.
That's the fun part about it, man. And like I said, this whole COVID-19 just messed everything up.
Breakfast, and then we had lunch, you know, or pizza before we left. Man, we had a good day. It was fun.
Yeah, man. And
I got the nickname U-Turn, all in one day. All in one day.
All that in one day. Let's see the book, man. Let's see the book. What you got?
Dun, 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 dun.
Oh,
Marvel
nice.
Spotlight number 5. I got number 1 and number 5 now. I got number 1 getting graded, and I'm praying that if it's a 7, I hope it's a 7.5 or 8. It's what I'm hoping for. So we shall see. But yeah, man. So I've got that. I've been really wanting that book a long time. I love the black covers and love me some Ghost Rider. So
that's an awesome book, man.
Yeah, it's a pretty cool book. Yeah, tomorrow I got to work, so I may jump on, you know, for a minute from inside my truck. You know, I can pretty much do my work early and chill out. She's just a loner in the Netherlands.
She needs to hang out.
She needs to come hang out in Florida when everything's fixed, of course.
Yep. That's definitely a thing of beauty right there with that issue.
Yeah, man, it's a cool book, and they ain't been nothing but going up. I figure I better get some books you feel like you better get because they keep climbing and climbing and climbing.
Yeah, the corona just messed everything up.
Yeah, you want to talk about something I would absolutely not do? I would hang out with my friends before I would go on a cruise ship ever. I would never go on a cruise ship. Man, they circulate that same air through, man, hell no. Nah. That's how you get sick. Circulating the same air through there. You know, everyone in all these foods, you know what I mean?
I am a grounded person. I do not go on waters.
I've been on a couple.
When I was a kid, I never went past on the beach where my feet couldn't touch the ground. My feet don't touch the ground. I'm backtracking. I'm backtracking. I can't swim, bro.
Hey, Sean.
Man,
hey, Sean,
you heard about what happened to the wrestler who passed away in the water, Shad Gaspard.
Hey, the riptides, Sean, they're devastating. You really can't explain it until it happens to you. You get in a riptide and there ain't no getting out of it. You got to ride it out. Like if it's going out, you just keep going out. Man, they're crazy, dude. Riptides are what I worry about the most, especially at the beach. They'll get you.
Yep.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, I've seen. I've seen. I don't know if I've subbed a Fresh Princess yet, but I seen a picture of her and her boyfriend, and they do a bunch of stuff. Yeah, she definitely needs to come to Florida, that's where it's at.
Yeah, when she came back in February, I think we tried to link up, but it didn't work out.
Hey Sean, I sent an AOK to Robert G too from California Blend.
Oh man, I was thinking of doing that, man, and somebody beat me to it.
That was me. I beat you to it. I said, she did a couple covers on comic books. Well, if you go to try to buy one now, it'll say out of stock. The one that says out of stock is the one that Robert G will be getting.
Yep, she right on that. She dead right. I don't go on the coasters. I don't go on the water. I am a grounded person.
No, I've been way out fishing and all that, and I'm nervous because you can't even see the land, Sean. You can't even see the land. I don't like it, but I've been all out on the. I went on a cruise in Hawaii and cruised the islands. It was pretty good, man. I was up top playing basketball with my daughter and everything on the cruise ship. They had a basketball court. They had a movie theater. Man, it was pretty fun.
Yeah, Riptide is definitely no joke. That's why I don't want to get caught in them.
They take your
I felt real bad. But you know what, man? He saved his son. He said, "Save my son first," and that really hit me when I read the news on that.
Yeah, man. What are you what are you gonna do, man? It's
got JD Comics in the chat.
JD.
He said he finally has a Saturday to himself. Well, if you want to jump in, man, I'll send you the link. Good to have JD on here.
Yeah, man, I love fishing. I love all kinds of fishing. Actually, I was gonna go this weekend to Georgia and go bass fishing, and but work said that there might be a job, and sure enough, I don't want to miss because I get paid 40 hours whether I work it or not. So as long as you're ready to go when you get called. So I'm glad I didn't go because look what happened. I'd had to come back. Yeah, I got a boat. But I pretty much let my what did Robert say?
Enough about the fishing. Time for some girl talk.
Time for girl talk. All she's been talking about is boobs all day.
Hey, we got two female views with her and Fresh Princess. Need to get them on the show. I sent you the link, JD.
What did Robert G say?
On what?
He said something in the comments.
I didn't see.
I seen something. Robert G comment. You popped it up for a second, and then it went off. Maybe it was on my end. He said something, and it popped on the top of my screen.
Well, sometimes YouTube don't show all the comments. Like I've noticed it one time where.
Yeah, because you usually see them. You pop them right up when you see them.
Yeah. All right, we got JD. What is going on?
Look at this crew.
JD!
Hey, Stone Cold Steve Whiting and great
What's up,
Mr.
brother?
Sean.
What's up? You got a Saturday to yourself? Damn.
Well, not really. They're upstairs, but
My wife's in Georgia, so I really do got the whole house.
oh, sorry, is that loud? I got a. They're upstairs, but
Oh, we got a package.
Got a
Yeah.
unboxing.
yeah, I got a nothing crazy. Well, they're good. They're mid-grade Silver Ages.
Oh, that's always good, man. Anything mid-grade,
Yeah.
Silver Age, or Gold Age.
Hey,
is great.
JD, I showed this earlier, and I was like, oh, look, it's an elephant,
Oh, yeah, that one, nice.
Cadillacs, and dinosaurs.
There you go. Yeah, there's a. Is that me? Oh, hang on. Let me fix something here. Yeah, that's. I love that stuff. How's my mic
Yeah.
sound? Better?
Yeah, you sound good.
Ah, good. Yeah, I got the new mic. My old mic just crapped out on me about a month and a half ago, so I didn't realize how bad it was using the computer mic until I was rewatching an episode of Golden Guys or The Hunt, and I'm like, oh boy, that's bad. So it's good.
I
Having
like Gino's mic. He's got it all decorated up with lights.
This is fun. So actually, I was found something here. I'm moving. I'm going to be pressing some of our favorite Conans coming up. But working on that. So yeah, I got a box from CGC. So how's everything else going in the community? Good.
Going good,
Doing
man.
fine.
Nice. Yeah. I see a comment. I saw a couple of people in the chat there. Kachum, good having him there. Nice. Well, so yeah. You want me to open this?
Hell
I usually don't do things on my own channel, and so I don't mind doing it on other people's channel. I like it
Dude,
more fun.
This is the We Go As It Flows channel, baby.
That's what I like. That's what I like.
You
Yep.
never know. If you
It's
hear a
always
knock
good
on
when
the door
somebody
and I
pops.
run into the box, I'm opening it.
That's
Damn, look
just
at
it.
that knife.
Yeah. I have way too many of these things, but
And you got your Ric Flair
Sorry about
robe in the back, ready
By the
to
way.
switch over.
yep. And the glare in the background, that's through blinds. That's through the blinds on this one. So, oh yeah. So
You pulled out the belt.
I had to pull my belt out because I knew Sean could grab this too.
oh yeah. Oh, hang on here.
You know, when we got the Nature Boy on, man, got strap up.
Woo! Oh yeah.
Woo!
I belt out before. I think the kids were playing with it. Oh, it's up there. Had my hunt belt. I keep it right here.
JD, when I run to the bathroom or something, I put this up, and when I put my screen on right as I'm walking off, and then my boy's taking my spot.
Nice. Stone Cold.
So go
I got
from
my hunt belt.
the
Champion.
Yeah.
champion.
Man, you got ridiculed by Iron Edition.
Oh yeah, he's great. Oh,
Man,
yeah.
he's got a good
With the Iron Sheet.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
He looked just
That
like
was
him, too.
hilarious.
It's the best part of the show. Like Tony and I always talk about it, you know, and we're like, God, to see this thing go from just a bunch of three guys with just three guys just doing
It
a
didn't
hunt
even
thing.
start out like wrestling. You know, it was just what y'all showing off what y'all got for the week. And then all of a sudden, the wrestling started getting incorporated in it.
Yeah,
Oh
especially-
yeah,
the tone would say, "Oh, look what he's doing! He's bringing in a slab," and he went, man, and
Yep.
everybody.
He's like, "Ref! Ref!"
and then
Yeah,
Comic
he
Head
hit you with a
84
slab.
exactly, and then Comic Head 84 made that promo video.
Yes, I
And-
remember that one.
Then I completely says, if he's doing that, then I'm going to create the flair. Absolutely create the flair. And you know, I even have there's like props always around me over here. You know,
Yeah, you gotta have
gauntlet ring wearing. You know. So all right, let's open up these books. Now these are all the lowest tier, the value tier. So you know, none of them are going to be too stellar, but they'll be fun books. And I don't really know what the grades are because that's it. So the first one I pulled out has the invoice. There you go. All right.
Tremendous.
Defenders. This is that Marvel. Try the glare. Volume 1, 7.0 white pages from 71. Pretty happy with that grade. I was thinking 7.75 at the most because of the little staple pull right there, but it's good. And it probably needed a cleaning, and I probably rushed it. I just taking my time with cleaning is now my new motto, but very happy with this as there are certain things I'm a completist on, and it's Silver Surfer, Thor, Doctor Strange, and then the Avengers and the Defenders. Sorry you won't hear X-Men from me. Conan's I tried to be it, but with the different platforms and everything else.
We got another guest here.
Oh, nice. Biggie, how are you?
The most big shot. What's
How
going
are
on,
you,
bro?
Biggie?
Chilling. Hey, I see you, Big Stone Cold, representing, brother.
I had to throw the strap on real quick. Got to have it within reaching distance at all times, or you will be fined one of your best comics.
Champions.
Champions.
Hey, who's my guy down here in the corner? Jay, what up, JD?
What's going on, Biggie? How are you?
Hey, yo, it's fucking JD Flair. Holy shit. I never met this
Don't
guy.
give him no
before.
accident now.
I don't even know who he is.
There you go. I keep the robe here now. Someone asked me if it was a Magnum PI shirt. That's great.
Hey, Ray, you got a dope guest this week. Stay puffed, man. It's awesome. JD came on. He's
I
been
love
on
it.
before. Yeah.
Yeah, I've been on the Swords and Sorcery. But yeah, so I'm doing a little CGC unboxing. I got 13 books back, so
Yo, I'm down to watch, man. I'll hang out in the back. Let's get it back to Big JD, man. Thanks
sure.
for
So
All right.
here's the first one that came in. That's that, and the next book. Oh, that's that Thor 165.
Oh, sweet.
Damn, that's
second.
still five
It's my-
O's in that grade. I could take all day long. And
Yeah, this is
all day.
This is a good one. This is my second. This was I guess I upgraded Raw, and then I said, well, let me send the lesser of the two Adam Warlocks to CGC because I don't really slab a lot of my books unless I plan on selling it or if it's the first, like the first Defenders. That's a keeper. So I might be deciding what to do. I've got to upgrade a few books this time. Let's see if I got one here. Oh, this is a story behind it.
Oh yeah.
Now this, I've told this story a lot. The two cuts down here and up here, I did about 6.5 years ago. Had a few cocktails in me, and I got a whole new set of My Light 4s, 4mm, and I said, I'm going to put all my Fantastic Fours in there. And I started off sober, ended up stopping after this one because I slit it right here all the way straight through.
Wow. Damn.
So I am going to be upgrading this one, but I did take if you look at the rest of the book,
Rest of the book looks great.
it looks really good.
God.
And just that chunk, and there's some tanning on the back as well, which I'm used to. But it happens.
Did you press and clean that one, JD?
Nah, no bother.
It doesn't come off a little bit, but not much, man.
Yeah, the thing about the press on that one, I wasn't sure. I didn't think it would be safe. The risk reward, I could have popped the staple on it because it was so poorly, barely attached. I mean, it even says, piece reattached to back color with tape, which is this down here. That's another chunk that's out of it in the back. It's not tape, and down here you can see I split the whole spine right up to the staple and right at the staple. The flap on the top and here on there. Word to the wise, buy bigger Mylar 4s if you're crazy enough to use them. I have them. I'm probably going to dump them because they're dangerous. But that's a good book. That's a fun book. Let's show some other stuff here. Oh, here we go.
Avengers 9.
Number 8.
8.
First appearance of Kang the Conqueror. Rumor has it here. This I'm actually happy with the grade of a 5. It has a subscription crease. And off-white to white. Just solid book there. I mean, a 5.0. Like I said, mid-grade. This was on the value tier. So, hey, Kachung. And there we go.
It's a great book.
That's definitely a keeper right there.
Yeah. And then this is my favorite one. This one is one of my favorite books here. This is Strange Tales 158. This is the first full appearance of the Living Tribunal.
Yes.
And if the book before the Living Tribunal, it's just really a cameo of barely his head. But 8.0 off white to white. Great grade for this era of book from 1967. One of my favorite covers with the, just the redness on there. So I'm happy with that. That's a very happy grade with that one. And that, by the way, here's a pressing problem that happened. I gave this to a presser, not in the community, a presser, and he recessed the staple. I probably gave him a 9.0 and I got back an 8.0. I'm not angry with him because I said, go ahead and press it. And it just kind of had that little issue. That's your Grail? Oh, nice. Nice. And then what do we got next? It's funny. I have to send them in a certain order and keep it in the order, but they tend to in any order they want. Up, Mephisto. 6.0 white pages. Now this one presents way better than a 6.0. It's actually my best presenting Silver Surfer I own.
Wow.
However, those square-bound books, right?
Staining is the biggest problem, and there is nothing but stains over here. And I've tried to get it out with every possible cleaning mechanism I've tried, and it just didn't work. And I've got, tens of different models on how to clean it. It was stained in there, but a 6.0 off-white, I'm okay with that.
Yeah, that's not bad.
Mephisto.
Nice. Yeah.
Plus, I always find those Silver Surfers around. You never know in some of these places. Avengers 2. This was another one. Look at this is another good example of really well presenting. Really nothing. If you want to take a quick gander here at the spine as well, really nice. And why? Everybody's like, well, why is it a 4.0? Well, that will destroy any book. And that's all there. And also inside, I think one of the notes, I don't know what the notes were, but I'm okay with that. I mean, my Avengers 1 is a 4.5. This was a little tough grade, but I'm okay with it. I mean, looks pretty good.
I love that book, man. That's a good. Yep. I gave that one to John for his collection.
I saw that one.
I want to get another one back. I like you got a 4.0. I like want to get a 5.0 or something. I figure I'll give that one to John and upgrade eventually.
Yep, that's exactly what I like that stuff. So, up back to Avengers, we have number 3 now.
Yes, number 3.
Now this one has a little bit of some. This is a pretty good spine. Now again, I think CGC hammered that crap out of this book, but I'm okay with that. Spine stress, some stress right there, and I think the grade isn't so much there. It's a 4.5 off white to white, but I knew when you're submitting on the value tier, you're kind of thinking. It's got a little sun damage. You can see the red isn't as pop as it is. And if you look carefully at Giant Man in the background, the reds are a little bit off. So there's some sun tanning there, but it's pretty good. I mean, I'm very happy with that one. All right, we got, what's this one? I can't even see this one. Number 5. This is a Avengers 5.5. I like this cover because this is the first time that both that Cap, Hulk, Thor, Iron Man are on the same cover.
Man, that's a hell of a cover.
So that's the first time they all appear on the same cover. Because Avengers 1, Hulk, and 2, Hulk's not on it, and Cap doesn't show up till number 4, and Hulk's not on it. Then comes Avengers 5. So
that's a great cover.
Yeah, this Hulk and Lava Men appear. Suitor. So very happy with that one.
Shoot, those are banger books you're showing. I was thinking you were going to show some mid-grade, like something just regular books, not these kind of books.
Not JD, man.
No. I mean, these are books that I've had that I've been wanting to submit for a little bit.
Oh, yeah, I love. That's such a tough book. The spine is tough to get a good spine on that book, man.
You're 100% right. 5.5 white pages. I'm okay. Really happy with the white pages. I honestly thought about a 5 to a 6 at the most. Again, like you said, it's a tough cover, but here's a shout out to Biggie Shack. When I talk about Buscema Surfer being my favorite and everything else like that, there's one thing I always throw in a caveat. For some reason, this is Kirby's best work, other than I think 72 I like as well, but this is some incredible surfer work right there. Big fan. Nice. All right, we got a few more here. Oh. Now we got back to Buscema. Now we're back.
That's a classic right there.
Yeah, this one they hammered really bad. There's nothing wrong with this cover whatsoever, except, and the one thing it gave you, I'm going to tell you this just as a word of advice, they hate staining. And on the top here, right where it says magazine, there's a little bit of color removal. And I don't know what was on it, but it kind of had a little bit of stains on there. I didn't think about it when I submitted it, but I think this should have been cleaned a lot better. And that was my own doing. But it's my book. I like it, 6.0 white pages. I was hoping for an 8.0, so when I got this, I was pretty shocked. But the report, when they told me it's stained throughout, was something I didn't see. You must have better eyes than I do. Or this guy had a bad day. Well, that's okay though. I'm not going to complain about it. So I love that book. It's one of my favorite Buscema covers, and it'll look really, really nice when I do my Submariner 8 with
Submariner 8, just like that, all black cover.
Yep, I'm submitting that probably next week. I'm submitting that because this was my year. I was going to not buy as many comics and submit. Well, that didn't happen.
Which is the same as buying comics.
Correct.
Because of the price, right?
Yep. Here's my 8.0. I'm very happy with this one, Silver Surfer number 2. And here's something I tell everybody. This is the best, my favorite cover of the run, with the exception of number 1 and 4. Obviously, 4 is number 1. Number 1 is number 2. This is my third favorite. It beats Mephisto's cover. some reason I love the blue cover. And I kind of like the Badoon as a badass kind of Skrull, as an offshoot of the Skrull race. The Badoon, and this is good. It says first appearance of the Brotherhood of the Badoon and Tales of the Watcher backup story, and of course some more Buscema. So good stuff, right?
Can't go wrong with Buscema. I would like to welcome Al. What's up, Al?
My last book is the only DC one of the bunch. Hey, Al.
Hello.
One is a 9.2 Bernie Wrightson Swamp Thing. This is for a friend of mine who asked me to submit for him. Yeah, I don't know. It looked good. I mean, 9.2. He's very happy with that. White pages. This was his book. He wanted me to submit for him, but there you go. But thanks for sharing that. That's good because I didn't want to go live. I wanted really to hear how everybody liked the new mic and checking out everybody. I'm sorry about the heavenly glare behind me. I'm more of a
man, we just happy to have you on, man.
I'm happy.
Hey, JD, this is the non-judgmental show. Do what you want. Biggie's in the car. We don't care.
I got a couple books.
Nice.
Yeah, I'll show y'all in a second. I'm at a light, but I'm about to pull up. I'll show
this is that other cover you were talking about, huh, JD?
Yep, 72. I'm thinking about submitting mine. I have a whole setup here that's on my list.
That's just a beautiful cover, man.
Yep.
Yeah, I like how that red pops.
Yeah, that red pops in the
Silver
back.
Surfer just coming through.
Right. He's coming right at you, man.
The Kirby space backgrounds. I forget what they call that. The
dude,
dimensional. It's really good.
Love those.
Kirby Crackle.
Kirby Crackle. There it is. Thanks, babe. Big up.
Biggie Shack, what was that grail you posted this morning?
Who, me?
Yeah, you.
I was a joke, man.
I know.
That was a facsimile.
I know that thing. I said Biggie posted a book. If he had, he'd be buying a house with.
It's Marvel Mystery number 1.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. Check this out, though, man. I thought that this book was more expensive before I got there. I thought I was going to spend like $12, $13 on it or something. And it's actually in better condition, and it's a lot. It was cheaper. It was only $8.50. So everybody knows Bub's doing that Q contest, right?
Yeah, I
So-
still got to enter it.
My boy,
Oh,
I
Quick
got
Draw McGraw.
Quick Draw McGraw, you're gonna win. That's awesome.
yo
Oh, hey,
number 5, First Snagglepuss.
nice.
Damn.
Yeah, this is fucking fire. It's like the best one out of the run.
Such a good show.
Quick-
Kabong.
Quick
The
Draw
best is when
McGraw.
he's El Kabong.
No, they're listed high as hell, but people buy them for cheap. So I got that for like $8.50, and this one was marked for $5, and I ended up getting both of them for $10. So I got a little 15-cent JLA.
Nice.
That
I like
Quick
that.
Draw McGraw, though.
That
Bro, the
JLA
Quick Draw McGraw. I don't like cartoon stuff that much, but dude,
Dude,
this is
that's
classic, bro. This
that's
is a good
sweet right there.
Well, that's good. I used to love that when he used to the El Kabong and whack people Jeff Jarrett style with the guitar. Honky
Yeah.
tonk.
With the
Honky tonk man
guitar. With the
style.
guitar.
Jeff Jarrett. Slap.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
El Kabong.
That was some good stuff right there, man.
Hey,
Pretty
Biggie,
good
they were
shit.
giving y'all the shaft on the show last night, man. They wasn't giving the bottom row nothing.
No. Yo, when I pulled out that Steve note, that should have won. I did win that round. Yeah, we won that shit.
Yeah, I was voting bottom round every time. I wanted
Yo,
they go back
the
and look and
best,
say,
the best moment of that episode was when Iron Edition started slagging you, and y'all was on the same team.
Yeah. He called me Bubba Shack or something.
Yo, I'm like, y'all on the same team. What? He in
Oh,
that
God
Iron
damn it.
Sheik mentality. That's what he was.
Hold
it
on,
Damon
Sean.
first?
Did you see when Biggie said, "Hey, man"? He put up his world's finest 10-30. He says, "Hell, it was laying right here."
Yeah. Yeah, what am I
Dying.
gonna do? Yo, it's fucking man cave, bro. The guy's got goddamn third Batman. Like, I'm gonna pull my fucking shit out. You know what I mean? Fuck it.
Yeah, I was cracking up. Biggie said, "Man, this book's laying here effing. It's in the game."
Yeah.
In the game.
Yeah. Yeah, fucking Lucha Libre. Oh, I'm just pull. I said pull your good books, motherfucker.
That was so much fun yesterday, man. I was dying
Yeah,
with the stuff that was said, man.
yeah. I was watching the whole show. I was cracking up, man. Just sitting back
Hey man,
watching.
I'm gonna fucking dip out, dude. I'm glad I hopped in, man, for just a little bit, but I don't want to fuck y'all shit up, and I really can't talk much, so I'm gonna put my mask on. I'm gonna holler at y'all.
All right,
All right,
take care,
brother.
my friend.
Be safe.
All right, guys. Thanks, Puff. It's good to see you, JD.
Good
Big
seeing you,
Dusty
Biggie.
Brick Brown, Stone Cold.
All right,
y'all.
man.
Oh,
Later.
right later.
So Al, you jumped in. Glad to have you on the show as always, man. What's been going on with you? I know you've been posting some books. You know, you trying to finish that X-Men run and everything.
Yes, I have, sir. And let me just preface this by saying if it looks like I'm about to fall asleep, I don't have narcolepsy. I only had like an hour and a half of sleep last night. That was the reason why I didn't jump on immediately, because I was sitting on my sofa watching the show and I was like falling asleep like every 8 minutes after I posted something to the chat. So I'm like, man, I don't want to go on the show and they think I have some kind of medical condition and I have to have to call 911. It's like, oh my God, we don't know where Al lives, so he's gonna die.
He's
know,
in
that type
Georgia
of thing.
somewhere.
Yeah, I'm in North Georgia,
On that
but
midnight.
yeah, man, I actually got a couple of books. Nothing to the degree of JD. Those were some
Oh, don't
excellent
worry.
books. And this is my first time actually meeting you on the show. So my name is Al. It's nice to meet you. I've heard a lot of good stuff about you. I haven't been able to see the show because I work from 4 p.m. to midnight, Monday through Friday. So typically I'm working hard and I'm not able to watch the show. But one day I hope to be a participant of the show as well as a viewer of the show. But nonetheless, I did get a few things. I showed one of them on my page, and then I got this from Urban Comics of Brandon or Urban Legend. So I got a few books. But I'm gonna show my heavy hitter first. Well, actually, I'm gonna show this one first. This one I showed on
Oh yeah, I love that issue.
Captain Marvel #1. Yeah, I've been wanting to Sean got me interested in collecting all her stuff. So I went ahead and got this one. It was a pretty nice copy. It's just to read, you know, nothing more, nothing less. Now my banger is actually
Oh boy.
Nice. Was that 47?
67.
67.
Juggernaut.
Yeah, the Juggernaut.
They always throw me off with how they draw Juggernaut. You know, you thinking his legs are showing, and then another issue, you know, he's got the pants on and stuff.
Yeah, he looked very uncomfortable in this particular pose. Like he just left and wanted to do villainy and then get dressed all the way. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I'll just leave my pants at home. I'm still gonna kick Charles's ass today. You know, that type of thing. I mean, look at him, man. I mean, seriously, look at him. Like he's in his Fruit of the Looms. Like
this makes no sense, man.
I mean, it doesn't. I mean, of course, it's part of what I'm collecting for, but it's just very awkward of him being in his underpants, you know, uppercutting the Human Torch. But I mean, he's laid waste to everybody else, so you know, I guess I give him that much credit. You'll have to give me a few minutes to open up this box. Now, we'll say this. Oh, I got something else too. It's funny you said that the thing about the video games, because I got a video game in the mail yesterday too. So I got this in the mail.
Street Fighter, nice.
Yeah, I had
I have not played the EX series in forever.
Dude,
I don't even remember if I liked it that much.
Dude, I love this. I actually have the PlayStation, the Street Fighter EX. The only one I don't have now is Street Fighter EX plus Alpha. Yeah, I can see Fruit of the Loom bringing out a new Juggernaut line. And
He'd be like a big guava. He'd be like a big guava.
It writes itself. I mean, you think about it. You know, it's like, imagine this. I'm going to set up the scene. Okay, so this guy and this girl, they're getting ready to go out on a dinner date and everything. So the guy walks out of the bathroom. And when he walks out of the bathroom, he's got his Juggernaut pants, you know, underpants on and whatnot. and his girlfriend or wife or significant other's like, honey, why do you have those on? It's like, why do I have these on? I'm the Juggernaut, bitch. And then just, you know,
man, if Juggernaut was wearing BBDs, he's so big it would spell out Boulevard right there.
Yeah, I mean, you're right about that. Yeah, that dude is huge. Like,
yeah,
Juggernaut was like real. I think he's like 9.5 feet tall and weighs almost 1,000 pounds. Like, man,
yep.
I don't. Nah, I go the other way. Like, Juggernaut's on I-85. Well, it's time to find another way home. So, So how's everybody doing today?
Good. Actually, I've been talking to Anthony Snyder from Comic Art. If you know Anthony Snyder, he used to be on Comic Book Men. Yeah, I just been texting him back and forth. We had some business transaction that didn't in January that still hasn't settled up. So he's kind of helped me out, get me a new piece. He feels he's doing great, and I like Anthony. And I just literally just sent him $100 for a piece that's over 1,000 because the piece I ordered prior to COVID was a custom piece that my wife was going to get me for Christmas, and that can't happen now. And so Anthony was like, let's just end this now, and let me give you something else that you want. So I got to put anything on the site, and I'll have to show that because I'm a big original art collector, you know, being there and stuff. And I'm trying to reduce the amount of comics I have, but if you know what that means, that just means I buy a few more. I mean, the other day, I was like, I couldn't pass up the first appearance of Solomon Grundy, and that's
wow.
But I'm still nervous about that book. I mean, I didn't pay a lot for it, and it was in a packet. It was with a bunch of other show like DC, like Strange Avengers and stuff that wasn't Batman, Superman, or popular. This guy wanted to get rid of, and I don't think he's ever color touched it. But man, that purple is really dark in the spine, and I'm not used to seeing that on that book. But maybe I'll get lucky and not get restored or come back. So I can't tell, and I'm really good at checking restoration, and it passes every test I have, but it's just a gut feeling. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I've had that before on a few. I have a few other restored. Restored does purple labels don't kill me if it's old. If it's new, it drives me nuts.
Yeah, I don't care about purple labels too much. I got a couple black books, and they're notorious for color touch.
Absolutely.
But they look awesome with a purple, so I'm like, F it, I don't care. I'm keeping it just like that.
Exactly. There we go. I mean, like I'm okay with it. I've got a few my Avengers 4's got a underneath Cap's eye got a Sharpie mark, and they said that's color touch, and I'm like, all right, we're nitpicking there. Right here. I said, where's the color touch? And they took pictures of it, and I'm like, all right. And it's a 4, and I love it. Don't get me wrong, I love the book. But just happened there. These books now, I can tell you, all those books you see have been in my collection at least 10 years, at least.
See, that's what I like to do is, you got a good deal on them. You send them in, and they're worth more. Regardless, I don't care. They're worth more than what you paid for it if you've had them 10 years for sure.
Oh yeah, I mean, the keys I bought recently, or Mega Key or whatever, have been upgrades from previous books. Like I showed Tone the Avengers 1. Tone has my old one, so I love that because now I get to see that old one the whole time, and it's a good book. Don't get me wrong; it's a really nice book, and I just got an upgrade from a guy who said, "Hey, I'm looking to sell some books." And we made some deals here and there, some trades. I do trade 90% of the time because I don't have the cash to spend on, unless I sell books, I have to keep half the books here, and then half of it goes towards, upgrading not just my house, but like getting a new press for starting to cleaning and pressing, and new microphone, that kind of stuff. Kind of keep the comic money separate from the family money. Sometimes they interact here and there, and that's okay. But I like the original art thing. I've got one more piece I'm trying to negotiate a guy with, but maybe I'll sell one or two of these books to try to get that piece. But I like we said, when you hold these books for a long time in your collection, and most of us, we're all seasoned collectors and seasoned fans of it. I mean, if you told me when I was 10 years old buying Thor 337, 338, 339 for $5 on my 10th birthday. It was literally, this is what happened. The Rockefeller, it was my 10th birthday, and back then in the 80s, the tree lighting ceremony in Rockefeller Center, we'd walk from Hell's Kitchen over, my family over there, and we'd walk over there, and my cousin was there, and he's like, "Oh, happy birthday!" And my aunt gave me $5, and he's like, "Let's go to the shop." He was a big comic guy. He had AF-15 before it was cool. He's 10 years old. He's about 7 years older than I am, and he was my comic influence guy. Big Spider-Man fan, big Iron Man fan. So actually, my Iron Man 55, he gave to me.
Damn.
And it's an 8.0, but he's like, yeah, he stopped. He's like, I don't really like this one. And this is way before Silver Surfer 34 came out with the new Thanos. So I didn't know he was irrelevant to me. It was just a book. And, but I never threw him out, but that's one there. But, I remember getting $5 and spending, I guess they were maybe 60 cents to $1 or 75 cents or 60 cents to $1 a piece. It was the 80s. 60 cents, I think they were. And I got that and probably something else I got there. But my first 3 books I bought, Thor 337. Now, not the first books I've ever had. I had my first comic ever is always Star Wars 1. On Christmas of 77, apparently I was 3.5 or 4 years old. I just turned 4, and we saw the movie, around that time. And I loved the movie, and my sister, here's 30 cents and gave me a comic book. She couldn't spend the extra 5 cents to get me a 35 center variant, but whatever. I still have it, and I know everybody's like, "Oh, why'd you grade that? It's not in good condition." I said, "Because it's the one that started it all for me."
It's a sentimental book. It's worth way more than
Yeah.
the grade, man. People. That's why
I guarantee you, back in the day, people just looked at it as a movie book, and they like, oh, it's just based on the movie, but there's nothing real sentimental about it. And then years later, it started picking up because it's Star Wars. You know, Star Wars was huge. You know, when
you're right.
Yeah.
I mean, I was getting those books like anytime I got like gifts or anything, they were always from my cousins and stuff like that. They were always comic books. Like, here, you want this? And then it all started when I saw the Thor versus Silver Surfer, that Silver Surfer 4. I wanted to know who that guy was the Silver Surfer. I never heard of him before.
Yeah, coming down
Thor,
like that.
I knew.
And Thor, iconic cover.
Oh yeah, I'll show you what I have of it there. It's kind of weird. That's a painting I had done.
Damn.
Nice.
That's my Buscema wall there.
If you go to iconic covers, that's in the top 10 of all time.
Oh yeah,
for sure.
I have my copy is right behind Mjolnir up there, and then that and Silver Surfer 2. That's a signed. Those were 2 signed prints I had from John Buscema. You bought the print for $10 in I guess it was 2000. It was the winter, and so 2002, just before he passed, at the Westchester County Center, right north of the Bronx, where I ended up moving to. And I didn't think anything of it. And I got those 2 sketch cards. He was giving away sketch cards then. That was like the big thing. And nobody was signing books on the cover. I will honestly tell you that. I had books signed on the inside. Nobody was signing the cover of the books until I think it's much more recent. Much recent, like in the last.
Yeah, because Jack Kirby wouldn't
years.
sign the cover. He only would sign the first page. You find a Jack Kirby signed cover, it's very rare, and it could be his wife, they said.
And Stan, a lot of books have Stan signed on the inside.
Yeah.
That was a very common.
They didn't want to destroy the art. They thought it was, you're destroying the art. So they just first page. There was no slabbing and all that, JD.
It's funny that when I posted that Superman.
Exactly.
When I posted that Superman yesterday, the Superman Unchained, and it had Jim Lee and Scott Snyder's signature on it, they both signed on Superman. Right there in the middle of the S.
I watched a disaster once. This is one story about Frank Miller. A guy handed him a Daredevil. I know the story. I was at a con, I guess in Jersey, and he was telling Frank he wanted him to sign a specific spot because Stan was going to sign where Stan wanted to sign, where Frank usually signed. The guy took the book. Frank Miller turned it upside down and signed his name upside down.
Oh wow!
That guy was not happy, and that was many years ago, though. Many years ago, I'm sure Frank now realized that was, I mean, a lot of these guys weren't doing autographs. You were buying commissions or sketches. Like I had, in the '90s, late '90s, you were getting commissions for $25, $50 from guys like Wrightson, Chaikin, Starlin.
Yeah.
I mean,
shit could have cost you $500 or more now to $1,000. Right?
Yeah.
Depending on the
JD, when I was younger, signatures didn't really mean a thing to me.
Nope.
Like I said this in my origin story video where, my aunt who got me into comics, I greatly looked at her as my comic book influencer.
Mm-hmm.
She took me to some early cons, early in my life. And this was around time when X-Men was huge, as Uncanny 300. And Scott Lobdell, we sat at a panel, where Scott Lobdell was, they were talking about the book. And you knew me, my young ass was like, man, I don't want to be in here sitting in here, hear them talk. I want to go out there and look at the comics and stuff like that. So we went up to him and he signed X-Men 300, and he gave it to her and she handed it to me. And I'm just looking at the book. I was like, "It's an awesome cover." John Romita cover, John Romita Jr. And I was like, what he signed it for. You know, is he important? You know, like he's a writer.
Who is this guy?
I was like, at that time, I'm oblivious to you know the writers and the artists and stuff. But I just want the book. You know, like I sat through all that talking. I'm like, just give me the book so I can get back outside and look at all the other stuff. So
I remember being at now I will have to say this: when you bought the print, like those 11 by 17 prints in 99 and 98, 99 and 2000, that was a big thing because that's the only thing they came pre-signed. Like John would sign them right there in front of him and just put it right there, and then you'd give $10 to Stephanie or his wife Nancy, and then and I got my pictured with him. My 13th birthday, I'll never forget. I was on my bicycle, and unfortunately, I don't have the book anymore because somebody really wanted it, and he was a good friend. I was delivering comics. I was delivering newspapers, and that's what I used to do from the age. I'm 46, so the age of 9, 10, 11. I was delivering newspapers on my bicycle to the apartment buildings on the west side of Manhattan, west of where I was, because you had Cosmic Comics, which was the comic shop, and Marvel was right around there, like their headquarters. Like this is pre-CBS buying them, right? Or right around that time. And I have a picture of my mom has the Polaroid of me with John Buscema, who's huge, and Stan, and me on my bicycle like this, and him giving me a Spider-Man 16 because he's like, oh, the kid Daredevil from there, because the kid from Hell's Kitchen. And I was telling people I used to get Stan Lee to sign he would sign the books as like a gift. And like I have a not Silver Surfer 4, but I have that Master. Remember the reprint?
Marvel
I had that first,
and Stan Lee signed that, and I couldn't find, and I never got John Buscema to sign that, and I always wish I did. I could never be Slab because it's such an older Stan Lee signature; it's almost perfect, you know. But back when the big thing you were getting, I think things changed in, like, for me, mid 90s, late 90s, 2000. I wanted to get more drawings, and a lot of people they were doing them, but I didn't know who I wanted or what I wanted. And when slabbing came around, I only slabbed sketch covers. That's all I did. Slab I would go to them, and CGC was this company that says, oh, we can encase this in a frame for you. That's how they pitched it to you, as a frame. So I was like, oh, that's good. So I have, you know, Starlin, Perez, all from like 2009 to, you know, there was already slabbing was big then. But I've always looked at some people with some sketches. Like I have one from 98 of Bernie Wrightson. It's just a Frankenstein head. It took him like 3 seconds to draw, and it would take me a lifetime to draw, you know?
Yeah. He's like,
I swear, if I ever had the knowledge that I have now and take it and apply it to myself in the 90s, I probably would have gotten a lot of things that I wouldn't have thought of back then. You know,
I had the first 13 Fantastic Fours.
Wow.
I sold them all for $4,500 when not all of them for that price, but a large chunk of it went to that, including number 1, which the guy ended up saying it was a 4.5 or a 5.0. I forget what it got. But I got those books. I spent a lot of money on those books from my paychecks when I first started working. And then my wife says, we're having a baby. And I'm like, I have to buy, so I can't have the little 2-seater sports car, you know, that I wanted anymore. So I said, all right, let's choose a book. And the choices I was thinking of was, at the time, Journey 83 was never leaving. FF48 was never leaving, and none of them were ever leaving. But then FF1, I was like, you know what? I could always get another one of these. And this is really hot right now. Everybody on the CGC boards remembers when I bought that book and when I sold that book. And they always say, why did you sell it? It was such better condition than you thought. Because I was such a tough grader. Like, I never gave a book higher than an 8. Like, when they started doing number grades, I was like, no, if the book's been touched, it's never, you know, I didn't know anything about CGC grading policies. I had my own. And
you had your own JD.
I was stricter than all of them.
In the planet.
Yeah, if you touched it, I'm like, I don't want it. Touched it. I was social distancing my comic book pre-COVID, 20 years before it. Oh, it's so
Hey,
bad.
the first question out of JD's mouth. Did you read that?
Did you
Yeah.
touch that?
Okay,
Yeah.
I don't want it.
And Sean, you know this. Every book I buy is usually 90% of them raw, like especially my Jungle books, and I have to read them because I can't put it in the slab, or I can't slab a book until I read it. And thank God for reprints and digital now. I'm like, I'm not having to touch anything when I do want to get a big boy book or some Golden Age books. That's my the other passion I have is those elephant covers. And thank you again, Stone Cold Steve Whiting, for that fabulous funnies 201.
Man, that was so crazy. The first weekend you talked about that, I go to down there, meet Hailey and them. The first box I look through, I find an elephant cover. I'm like, geez, this is an 8.0. It's a Golden Age book. No price was on it. I said, let me just. The guy said he said $50. I said, I'll take it, man. That thing's an 8.0, a $50 8.0 Golden Age book. That just don't happen all the time, man.
Yeah,
5.0 or better, I would have took it regardless.
It was just, it floored me, and we were looking at it because I have 2 Golden Age 8.0s now, and the first one was nowhere near $50. It was a early Matt Baker cover, who's one of my favorite artists of the Golden Age, obviously, and I had to buy it, and I'm like, all right, and it's one of them comic links where it says, all right, I'll put my max in, and then all of a sudden you've been outbid, and I'm like, up that max.
Yeah.
I want it.
I'm only going to this.
Yeah.
Until you get outbid. I'm going a little higher.
Yeah. So good stuff. Yeah, collecting, it's and I can't thank this community enough for so much of it. And a lot of it, the community I got me the ability to interview Howard Chaykin, who drew my first comic, who still makes fun of me, and I call him on his home phone when I want to now. It's great.
Damn.
I mean, he makes fun of me left and right. Like, I'm going out to walk my dog. Stop calling me. All right. I need you to do something for me. So, but
yeah, we all have amazing stories to tell when it comes to.
I want to hear some.
Yeah, and I had my comic book origin video that I posted, and that was through the Sleepy Reader. Asking if I had an origin video. So I was like, oh, you know what? Let me make one. And I know Sanimation did one. She recently did a part 2. And it's always great to have these stories that we all can connect to, when it comes to our comic book collecting and what got us into it and stuff, what drove us away to it at one point. And, and like I said, my biggest influence was, my aunt, whereas my granddad would read me some Spider-Man. That was when I was really young, and he passed away in 1988. So I didn't really, get that much of a time with him, because I was born in 83 and he died in 1988. So I didn't have enough time with him. So my aunt really pushed that whole comic collecting because she loved comics, and she died in 1999. So I always looked at those two as my influences. And like I said, my father, he saw my hobby for it, and he said, "Hey, I'll take you some more cons too. I see that you have an interest in it, and he liked the Spider-Man too, so he kept up the trend of pushing me towards comics."
Nice.
So it's always great to have these stories that we can tell.
I
want to get to Al because I know he unboxed the package.
Yeah, let's see what you got, Al.
Man, I'm patient, man. I mean, I'm just enjoying the conversation. I'm learning.
And you're very relaxed.
I'm extremely relaxed. If I was any more relaxed, I'd be in a coma. But the stuff I got though, I mean, it's not a lot. I mean, I follow Urban Comics. Is it Urban Comics or
Urban Legends?
Urban Legends.
I follow him on IG, and I've purchased quite a few things from him in the past. And whenever I get down there, I want to go to his store and just sit in the floor. And
he's got rooms full of books, man.
Yeah,
I went and picked the collection up with him about 2 months ago. 3 months maybe now. Picked the collection up, loaded it in my truck, man, my truck, man, is a F-150. Man, I had to put the seats down in the back and
Wow.
stacked to the top in the back stack. Man, I had duct tape. Man, we duct taped lids on boxes and everything, man. But he gave me a couple of books for helping him, and he was always a nice guy, man. He always gives you good deals and stuff.
Yeah.
You know, he's a cool dude. He's got a good little store.
Yeah, so I've just picked up a few things. I finished an actual run with what I bought from him, but this was I got this.
Oh,
What If number 8.
nice.
In addition
He
to
lost
X-Men,
the armor war. Yes.
I'm collecting the What If series, Volume 1 and Volume 2. So I got a ways to go before I complete that run for both of those. So I got that one. And then really the only other books that I got were these. I actually finished my run of this book, West Coast Avengers. So I got that one.
Oh, Bob Hall right there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice. That's my favorite run. It's one of my guilty pleasures is I like West Coast Avengers more than I like the regular Avengers.
Me too.
You know what? That's the crazy part because I'm the same way, JD. I mean, I'm an X-Men fan through and through. But if I had to pick, well, actually, it's X-Men, then Alpha Flight, then West Coast Avengers.
Nice.
So I like this team, and I think I like it better because Simon Williams was part of the team, and I've been a fan of his for quite some time. Yeah, Wonder Man. Got this one.
Oh, nice.
This one, and all of them are in great condition from what I've seen.
Yeah, Immortus. There you go.
Yeah, his books are usually in decent condition, man. He don't have very many really beat up books.
Yeah. So I just hit him up one day. He was.
Man, I love that Scarlet Witch storyline.
This one right here.
Yeah.
Yeah. Pretty cool.
Ooh. Love that human.
So typically, what I do when I complete a run, I go back and read it.
Yep.
So sometime this weekend, because I got an extended weekend, I'm gonna start at the West Coast number 1. But yeah, he had every last one that I was missing.
Oh, that's the bomb right there.
Which is cool. So I went ahead and just got all of them. So with this book right here, I've completed my Volume 2 run of West Coast Avengers.
Man, that's nice.
Wow,
Man.
yeah, I
Finished the
love
whole
being
run.
the completest. You know, one of the things is
That's
that
awesome,
a lot of us always show we're keys, but like I buy now, I'm like trying to complete the Doom 2099 run. That's another guilty pleasure I got. You know, we always have those guilty pleasures of the 90s that we don't. Because I'll be honest with you, this is crazy to tell you this, but the only reason I'm not an X-Men fan is because my friends were, and I was like hanging out with them, and we're kids, sitting there, and I'm like, you go with your mutants. I got the gods, I got Thor, I got Cosmic, and I was big into the Cosmic, and then I remember the West Coast Avengers with the Hawkeye holding that thing up there, and he goes, I'm going to go with this one, and I collected all the Avengers, but like the 90s guilty pleasure, and I got to admit something right now, the What If series, I go for the original art of that stuff, like crazy.
Yeah.
I have, you guys know who Larry Stroman is?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. My guilty pleasure artist of the 90s is Larry Stroman. And I bought that splash page from What If the Hulks Were the Gamma Bomb. I showed it on the hunt. It looks like, I could grab it in a minute. And it was dirt cheap because, and I've got What If 38, What If Thor was a disciple of Seth, but I have an artwork from there. But when I I looked for this one because Stroman's artwork is my artwork of the 90s. Again,
He did What If. I know he had some X Factor issues that he did. And I remember I have the Tribe issue from Image signed by him and the creator, him and the writer.
So I'll show you my favorite splash page I have, and I'll show it to you. It's cool. Just because it's Larry Stroman.
Yeah, Larry
So,
Strowman
yeah.
has a unique style.
Yeah, Al, if you're ever looking for something from Urban Legends or whatever, you got a list or something, you just text it to me, and when I'm in there, I'll just say, "Hey, Greg, do you have these?" And he'll go freaking snag them up if he's got them.
Now,
Well,
this,
that-
so this is What If 71, and it's a good read.
Oh, my bad.
It's what if the gamma bomb? So instead of the atomic bomb being dropped on Japan in August of 45, a gamma bomb gets dropped off, and then a whole thing of Hulks come about. So they have to fight the original. So you got a lot of Human Torch and everybody else in this one, but then the modern day Avengers are there, and this was the last page, and it kind of looks
Oh,
like that.
Oh, yeah, like they're raising the flag of Vietnam.
Yep, you got the Howling Commandos right here, and you got Nick Fury here, and then Thor and everybody else. So this came out on auction one time, and it was less than the price of a lot of books, and I had to buy it.
Oh, that's awesome.
that's
It's
nice.
it's Larry Strowman signed it down there, and I shoot him that messages every once in a while on Instagram saying, "You don't know what it's like to have, one of your top 5 favorite panels of all time." And I couldn't wait for it to, when I heard it was going up for auction, and it wasn't a lot for as far as original art goes. It was original art, so it's not cheap, but it was inked perfectly, and I couldn't wait to get it. And that's like of all the other original art I have, I've got Buscema's, I've got Wrightson's, I've got that. That's the one that I said I was most proud to get was this, because this because the What If series, and you're right, I'm a big fan of the What If, from the early ones to all the way up to I think, when does Volume 1 end? Is Volume 1 end with the Silver Surfer, or I forget when Volume 1 ends, because I think this is Volume 2, and then there's but those are always
I know.
good,
Volume 2 went to 100.
Volume 2 went to 100. This is that. So
Volume
I want to
one,
promise Kavi I wouldn't show too much original art till his
46,
Kavi on
46.
47.
47. Okay.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Well,
I was always jealous of my ex-friends too, by the way, because it was so like, oh, I'm not going to collect that. And that's, and then I'm looking at it, and then the TV show comes on. I'm like, God, this is so much better than what I'm reading. So I went back, I was so honest. I was like, God, X-Men's so much better. This is so much better than this Drek run of Thor in the 400s was going on with,
Oh my God, man.
fake Thor, Eric, sit there. Actually, I was much more into the Jungle Action books than.
Don't even get me started with Codpiece Thor.
Oh boy, Codpiece Thor, and then you got Eric Masterson, and then
Man, you
meanwhile,
brought up
thing ever happened. You got Jubilee, you got the TV show on,
oh yeah.
and I'm sitting there like. But I will say this thing: it was pretty easy to find the books I was looking for because they were in the pile of Drek. There you go. Even
Now,
the foil.
you brought up Larry Strowman, and I had to bring up the Tribe. This
Nice.
Image series. Now this is the black cover. This is the one that I saw the most. And then I remember when I was younger, I used to look at that first page a lot.
I'm sure you did, Sean.
Yeah, but yeah, just
Nice ink
Strowman.
work.
Yeah, the ink work, the art, all that is great. Now the one I have signed is the rare white.
That's toughly to find right there. And there's Strowman. On
Yeah, because I was like, I thought this was like the regular until I see that nobody had this one. This is the hardest to find.
Oh.
And it got both the signatures on there,
Damn, that's
along
nice.
with issue number 2, both their signatures, even though you can't see it. Dark.
Nice. The Tribe. Good book.
It's a shame that I know they switched companies. The first 2 issues were Image, and then the other 2 was with another company.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, I always liked reading it. And like I said, this is not in the best condition because, like I said, back in the days, I didn't really think much of signatures. I only wanted to read the comic. But I'm glad I still have it.
And let's say this right quick. Rag on the 90s so bad, and there was a lot of bad stuff that came out of the 90s. But I can recall actually. I'm pretty sure you all remember when you bought comic books and they had the ads in the comic books where you could order the books.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, I got old enough. I was bagging groceries at Kroger, so I had a little hair on my chest. I said, I want to order some comic books. So I ordered. Now y'all probably laugh. I ordered Dark Hawk. I ordered the New Warriors.
New Warriors was great, man.
That's pretty good. That's New Warriors fun.
Guardians of the Galaxy and New Warriors were pretty good books back then. Now, when the Dawn of Image and a whole bunch of other stuff that came out during that time with Dark Horse and whatnot, it was questionable. Covers started getting crazy, but for the most part, there was some pretty gems that came out of the 90s. So,
people like to look at the 90s as the dark age, but that's where I got into the comics.
I'm going to tell you right now, the 90s. People don't like it because I guess how many books were being published is their complaint, but the interior work. I mean. If you go to like the Ironmans in there and the annuals that came out, Don Heck was still doing the art. I mean, you still got the same artists. Yeah. What you did have is you had a lot of 90s overlays with like across the whole page would be the Krang or the bang would be all over it, and it was all flashy. But the stories were pretty good. You had good writers, but I know I really like the 90s artwork. I like the 90s books. I'm a completist like. Al is as well. So I love the Defenders that, when that ended, West Coast Avengers was still going pretty good. I love the 90s stuff. I mean, I will say my downturn, like I didn't really leave comics. I just stopped until Vertigo started. And then I started reading some of that stuff and I'm like, where has this been? Of course, I was at that age too, where I was tired of the campiness of comics. I was older, I was drinking, hanging out, hanging out with girls, getting laid, doing the whole deal. Then came a certain book came out by Jason Aaron called Scalp.
Oh yes,
I got miss an issue. I was like a kid back in 1984 or 80, waiting for Secret Wars to come out. Forget that. I was more into. I couldn't wait for Scalp, and I was buying every issue, and I didn't know. I knew I didn't think it was going to be worth it. I still don't think they are. But I actually leather bound the first 24 issues when I got older because of the reading capability of it. And the company was here in town. And when I moved out in 2008, I moved out from New York to Omaha, Nebraska. And I got that leather bound Scalped. And Jason Aaron was there at my local con. And I'm like, and this is before he did anything God of Thunder or anything else. He was just doing the Wolverine at that point. And I was talking to him, and I've done interviews with him. I literally dressed like Paste Pot Pete once and interviewed him. Not kidding you. We talked about this was just before War of the Realms, and I got all the insight on that. And Jason's like, "Hey, can I give you an interview?" I'm like, "Sure." He goes, "Well, I go back with Jason 12 years before, so now it's about 14 years ago when he first started doing Scalped." I went nuts with that. That is, if you don't know what it is, it's what if The Sopranos and Breaking Bad was combined on an Indian reservation style show. It is the darkest, turnest, and it was my favorite run. And then when he got, and talk about a fanboy going nuts, when he gets told he's going to be doing Thor, God of Thunder, I mean, I was like, all right, now I'm back to Marvel. But I would never have gone back to Marvel if it wasn't for Scalped, I don't think. I would have stayed at Vertigo and the Image, because I was at the age where the comics didn't really change. I wonder, there it is. Look at that. Yeah, I have all 72 issues. Nice. Yeah, I'll show you that.
I got into it, but these deluxe editions, and man, oh man, I was hooked. Every time they announced the next volume, I had to get it. I got every volume of Scalp.
And the jock cover on a few of them.
Yeah.
So I don't.
This guy was a bastard.
He was so
they
was
all
the
were
worst.
bastards, but this guy was like that's that corrupt FBI agent that you just know you can't trust and you hate him every time you show up.
Isn't that a Vertigo book?
Yep.
Yeah.
Vertigo was my thing. Vertigo, and actually I like Valiant too. Early Valiant, like the Archer and Armstrong, and I didn't really like Harbinger, but look at that scalp. Look at that. Good stuff.
Such a great read, man.
It is. I tell people that this should have been a TV. Man, this should have been before The Walking Dead. This was better than The Walking Dead. Here's my scalp. I didn't put volume 1. I did put a 1 down here. I haven't finished doing it, but I'm going to do it the next one. But here it is. And I took this to Jason, and speaking of signed books, I said, can you sign the interior right over Jock right there?
Damn.
So he thought it was cool. He goes, I never knew anybody would leather bound this book. And I told him it was just the best one. And it's just the comics. It's literally what they do is they take the comics and they bound them. Because nobody did a hardcover, but,
And this was during a time where omnibuses wasn't really a thing yet.
No, they weren't there yet. I thought this was reading. A lot of what obviously we're readers here, and that's the best part about the comics industry. I want. Thanks, honey. Thanks. So we're all readers, and that's the one thing I love about going on these shows or going on with Sean or anything else like that. It's like I know we've read these things. We're not necessarily speculators or anything else like that. I mean, it comes into play. You have to the monetization of it, but like Immortal Hulk, tell me you wouldn't want the first 12 issues of Immortal Hulk as a book because it reads like a book, and then it kind of drifts off here and there before the other stuff. I was thinking of other ones that read just like a book in today's comics. Is the best thing if it reads like a book, like Mark Waid's Doctor Strange, the one he did with Barry Kitson, reads like a book. I mean, we don't have to wait each issue, and I'm at the age where I stopped buying weekly comics now. I don't have a pull list except for Strange and Thor, and if they ever do a Surfer again. But I stopped buying every Avengers because it's just ridiculous. I like Ed McGuinness art. Don't get me wrong. I like Ed McGuinness, and I love Morales' inking, and I love Jason Aaron's writing when he did it. But when you're reading these things, I went trades and now hardcovers. I like it that way now.
Yeah, you get a bigger chunk of the story.
Right. Yeah, and I think it's so great to back and reread, and that's one of the things that Al just brought up. He's going to go back and reread the West Coast Avengers run. I think I might do the same. I have a box of West Coast Avengers there, and the artist who did it, Bob Hall, lives not too far from here. He lives that way about 13 miles, so he's a local.
Since you were talking about Breaking Bad, JD, I'm on the last 2 of Breaking Bad. I binge watched it this last week and week before with my wife. Holy Jesus, man.
That's a good one. That's what I'm going to go back and rewatch.
It's just so funny when you go from the first one to where he's at now, the transformation he took. Good God, man. The way that he started thinking, I'm like, what?
Yep.
You ain't tough, guy. You ain't. I mean,
you were
say my name. Say my name. I thought I was gonna freaking die laugh. I'd stop pause the movie during that.
Man, one thing this show has done, especially with JD and Al, is had me bust out the Strowman books. The Scout. Talk about West Coast Avengers, which I have pretty good chunk of that run as well. I think I'm probably about 15% of completing that run.
Nice.
And I love West Coast Avengers. Like that was one of my favorite reads, growing up. And just to get some of those issues back, because I had a bunch of issues, then I sold them when I sold comics, after I got out of it for a bit. And then I had brought a huge lot of it, from eBay, and that was a terrible experience.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna go through it, but yeah, I love West Coast Avengers with Hawkeye, Mockingbird, and Wonder Man. That was such a good run.
Oh yeah, the Wonder Man was such a badass character in it. I mean, it's such. And what I get lucky here is I have a local comic shop here that actually puts all the runs together. If they can complete a run, and they'll sell you the whole run as is. That's my daughter Victoria and my son Charles.
Hey.
Say hi. All right, don't start fighting.
I will say this, Sean, all those books with the
Yeah, man.
Go ahead, Steve, I'm sorry.
The collecting the way you guys did it in the 90s, see, that's when I was out totally. I was collecting baseball cards in the 90s more than comics. I did comics in the 80s more than I had baseball cards too. Don't get me wrong. But one thing about me that is good is I won't sell nothing. I'll give you anything, but I won't sell it to someone I don't know or all that. You know what I mean? I did one time. I sold I have a collection with my buddy of slot cars, HO slot cars. We were big into slot cars as kids, and we would go on and eBay was like, I think it was eBay. It was brand new. You know, internet was brand new, and we went on there, man. I was bidding $300 for these cars, and I got some cars, JD, that were the first ever made prototypes, and we still got those. But I sold one. It was a hand painted car by the guy that that made the car, and he was in charge. And I so regret that so bad. It was a Camaro, and he hand painted it, and I remember it distinctly. I've got like the first Corvette ever made of a HO slot car, which was called Magna Tractions. There were T-Jets were the older ones.
Okay.
The Magna Tractions had magnets that showed through the bottom, so you could drive them better. They would stay on the track better.
Nice.
And I had the very first prototype of a Corvette, and that's what I raced as a kid. So I kept that. Thank God. I got the very first one ever made. It's green and ugly, but it's a freaking mold, but it's mine.
There you go.
It stays in the collection, man.
I know somebody who does that with action figures. Tries to find the prototypes for the old GI, the 3.5.
Those are so
GI Joes.
worth so much money, man.
Yeah.
I saw a GI Joe in the shop for $950, and he was loose. I said, Jesus, man! Imagine this dude was on the pack on the cardboard.
In this town, we have a place called the Old Market Emporium. If you go on Facebook, you can see we have Old Market Imaginatarium and Old Market Emporium. They are within 125. Guys, go upstairs. And I tried to have a Saturday to myself, but then we each one has it, and they just brought down the Rattler, the Cobra Rattler, complete. And this guy sits there and has all these loose figures, and then he buys all these loose accessories and tries to match them up, and he sits there all day and puts like Shipwreck together. And what was Shipwreck's car? That one. So he tries to make sure he gets the right cover. So if he
that guy does the same thing here. Big Reds, he does the same thing. I see him with all these parts. And he's putting together a Godzilla, a giant Godzilla, and he goes, I got this part. This leg goes on, but this one ain't the right one, man. They know all that stuff, man. It's good thing about how they do that.
I want to say something. Y'all remember the Fantastic Four 1994 film?
Yep.
Roger Corman.
Roger Corman film?
Yes.
I met the cast at a con, and I got in this photo of them signed by Michael Bailey Smith, who played the Thing in that movie. Damn. This is one of my early con. I forgot to show it in my origin story, but
and all you're doing, Sean, is preserving for somebody else that's going to enjoy it like you did, because you kept that. They're like, man, this was from the first fantastic way back movie, 94, that old movie. We're like, 94. They're going to be saying that same stuff. Remember that old 94 movie?
You sound like Peter Parker in Infinity War. Remember that old Star Wars movie?
Yeah. You remember that old Endgame when Cap got old and freaking Tony Stark dies? You remember that?
Oh man! But I was like, let me bust this out, because this movie is terrible.
Yes.
But actually meeting the cast was pretty cool.
Still better than the
No.
newest one.
I agree with that. Dr. Dope.
And here's the thing: Rise of the Silver Surfer was my favorite. I could tell you this: everybody who went to see that in the movie theater, this is the same reaction. It is the greatest movie we've ever seen up until the last 13 and a half minutes when we look up and we're like, and I'm going to swear, Sean, I remember being in the movie like this, and I walked out and I said, Galactus is a fucking cloud. I am never I cried. I was like so excited to get the Silver Surfer on film, and Lawrence Fishburne's voice was really not what I ever thought, Norrin Rad's name would be, voice would be, but it was better. I'm like, wow, Lawrence Fishburne, perfect. And then came the cloud scene, and everybody walked out of there like, every comic fan was like, what just happened? We went to the premiere, and we went afterward to the post party at the comic shop. We were all going to do it, and nobody was happy. Not a soul. Everybody said the same thing. It was a cloud. Why would they do it a cloud? I mean, it barely even shaped. Like, we were waiting the whole time. You're waiting the whole time as the thing comes up, like, here he comes. And we're like, and all of a sudden the end, and we're like, what happened? And I still want my wife to see it again, because it has to be the experience that I tell her. We were sitting there, and we were in Baltimore Comic-Con last year, and the great legend, who's a crazy Fantastic Four fan, we were telling our reactions to that scene, and Bear Island never saw the movie. And he's like, is it good? He's like, it's the greatest movie for about an hour and 19 minutes. And then it's just a cloud. There's no other way to put it. The cloud shows up, and it ruined everything. The whole movie. You can't even when you rewatch it, you're like, here it comes, it's coming.
Yep.
Yeah, you can't even think about nothing else. But
I didn't mind Jessica Alba as Sue Storm. I actually liked her as Sue Storm. I liked Chris Evans as Johnny Blaze. Brian Chiklis' Thing was a perfect casting. Even the Victor Von Doom was really good. It was a little bit weird. His power all of a sudden came out of nowhere. Go upstairs. All right, I'll have mommy get the ball in a minute. Okay. So
that Galactus, man.
Yep.
That Galactus ruined the whole damn movie. Like, I don't even think of the movie.
Yeah, you can't, because it's two separate movies. It is Gone with the Wind, followed by Attack of the Killer Tomatoes 3 in the end of it. It's like the iconic Casablanca, Wizard of Oz, those iconic movies that they talk about, like the cinema changed cinema forever. And then it's the worst thing. It's like Piranha 3D. It just didn't work, or Jaws 3. Or that second Amazing Spider-Man is up there, number 2. What's that? Oh, you're cleaning it?
Or Spider-Man 3.
Oh, Spider-Man 3. That was another one that everybody walked out of saying that was not good. That was when they had that Venom. I'm like, that's not what Venom is. That's not how he is.
I'm not even a Spider-Man fan. I was outraged.
Not how it's gonna be. I'm not gonna watch this ever again.
I was probably angry enough for at least 30 hardcore Spider-Man fans, because I'm like, this is not Venom. Topher Grace, really?
That would reminded me of JD. Did you see a movie called Boiler Room?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
The ending to that freaking burned me up.
That is one movie where
on that.
it's like so hustle and bustle and fast. And Vince Diesel's doing all this stuff. There's fighting, there's trading, there's money. It's sexy. It's everything else. And then it's like, why would you end it that way? I guess it was probably a true story. I don't know.
You're shut down. The movie's over.
Yep.
That's it. I'm like, what just happened? My wife was so mad. I remember
nothing was more disappointing than that damn Galactus cloud.
No, that is it.
I was right there with you. We went to the theaters to see it because it was fucking Silver Surfer and Galactus. We was building up to that moment.
48, 49, 50.
I don't know, man. There's one other incident that could, well, actually two, now that I think of, but I don't even remember. Talk about the first one. Parallax.
They always seem to mess Fantastic Four. You know how big Fantastic Four books could be if the movies were great? Jesus, man, I might not be able to afford them. I might be lucky. that the
Yeah,
movies
any
ain't
of them.
great.
I wasn't even a Green Lantern fan, and even I thought that Parallax was trash.
Oh, the Parallax thing, yeah. I mean,
Parallax. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
no, you're right. Just go ahead. I mean, that was
Parallax from Green Lantern, and then Deadpool for Wolverine Origin.
okay. Yeah, because
They made up. They made up for that one though.
The Merc with the mouth didn't have a mouth. The Merc without a mouth. I didn't get that one. Well, I have to ask an X-Men fan this because I have an unwatchable movie. Yes, go upstairs.
Which X-Men movie?
The Dark Phoenix one.
Oh, I couldn't even get through that.
The newest one, because I thought The Last Stand, they couldn't get any worse than The Last Stand. But I kind of like the beginning of I kind of like parts of The Last Stand when, Colossus, though they made Colossus a teenager, and I kind of don't remember him ever as a teenager in the comics.
He was older than Kitty.
All of them. All of them. He was, yeah, I didn't get that part, but then, I mean, there's too many liberties that are taken in stuff that, and the funny thing is we're selfish as comic fans. We don't mess with the brand, man.
Don't stray off the story too much and do all kinds of bullshit.
You have
Nobody wants that.
Reference material, and you come up with that, But the latest Dark Phoenix movie, I was confused on that one. And as an X-Men fan, I want to hear what Al has to say.
Well, I didn't watch it.
That's enough.
I've never watched. I never watched Dark Phoenix.
There's children around.
I didn't watch all of Apocalypse. When I saw Ivan Ooze, I was like, nah, it's a wrap. I'm not dealing with that no more.
Dang, I lost the sound on.
The last X-Men movie that I thought was decent aside from Logan,
jump back in real quick.
aside from Logan, which I thought was pretty decent, was Days of Future Past, and they took a lot of liberties with that one. But if I separated the comic book knowledge from the movie itself was decent. But if I inject what I read, it sucked. So I mean, it's just that's the peril of being a comic book collector, especially if it's a property that you are familiar with. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. It's very hard to try to separate. At least for me, it's hard to separate myself from what I see on screen. Like First Class, I didn't watch that movie because in my eyes, that wasn't the First Class of
right.
How can you have Havoc, a member of the original X-Men, and not mention him in any of the previous movies? You know what I'm saying? I mean, the Banshee, I like the Banshee. He's a great character in my opinion, but why is he a member as Azazel or whatever his name is? Nightcrawler's dad. Like, really? It's like what they did.
Darwin?
Not Darwin, but Nightcrawler's dad. Is it Azazel or Azrael?
Oh, Azazel, yeah.
Azazel, yeah. It's like they had a hat. They had this hat right here, and they put every mutant in the X-Men comic book series in this hat, and it says, "Well, let's do a movie." And they just started pulling names out of the hat. It wasn't.
The MCU. I know a lot of people don't like Thor: The Dark World. I loved it because that's Walt Simonson, Malekith. They took some liberties with it with Jane because Jane really doesn't come into play in that era of Thor. But I liked the movie. I kind of tell people the beginning of it, the end of it. And I guess it's to each his own, about that movie. I liked it. I'm a big Thor fan. I love the first Thor with all that one had a lot of cuteness into it. The references to the original origin of, I wish they did have him go to a cave with his cane. Hang on one second here.
You know what character, what movie disappointed me? Iron Man 3 and the fake ass Mandarin. And I'm not a big Iron Man fan, but I knew the Mandarin.
Are you kidding me? I can't hear Sean now. What is going on?
But I remember the Mandarin from the cartoon, and I'm like, the 10 Rings of Power. That shit is awesome, man. I'm like, I can't wait to see them do that in the movie. And then I see they hired Ben Kingsley to play the Mandarin. I'm like, huh? And then even worse was the bait and switch in the whole movie. I'm like, The fuck?
Well,
No
you know,
matter.
the sad part about that, Sean, is that Ben Kingsley is a capable enough actor to where
Yeah.
he could have pulled the role off as the Mandarin as he is portrayed in the comic book.
Mhm.
The issue was that dumb.
Well, I don't know what's going
slurs
on, but
that
I
they
now I
did,
can't
you know
hear
what I'm
Al.
saying? Oh wow, Steve.
One of like that movie, with the Mandarin, that was another one where I said, "What the hell was that?" But you know what? The whole point that I love the beginning. I love the way he did play the Mandarin. You'll never see me coming, and that just if he just stayed on the TV and never showed up, it would have been better.
Yep.
It was kind of funny what they did with it after. If you ever saw that little 15-minute movie they did of interviewing,
Yeah.
and then that little kind of an Easter egg where the guy's got the 10 rings tattoo on his neck right here, and he's interviewing Ben Kingsley, and he's not the real Mandarin. The real Mandarin's coming. Maybe that's something, I don't know, but obviously not now that he's snapped himself to death. Again, liberties. Iron Man. At least you should have handed off to Rhodey, as in the. See, that's another thing. Iron Man in the 90s or in the late 80s was Rhodey. It was James Rhodes was Iron Man. Tony was Secretary of Defense. That was a good run. Well, I was really disappointed with Roadhouse 2. They made a Roadhouse 2.
I never knew. Did they? He
Did they
just
make a
making this shit up.
Stopped me in my
I
tracks.
know.
I'm a big fan of Roadhouse. Man.
I never knew.
Roadhouse too. I'm trying to figure out when did this happen.
I mean, there are some sequels that worked really well, you know, Electric Boogaloo and, you know, a couple other ones. I will never say a Roadhouse 2.
Who was this on? John Cena?
I mean, the best part of Roadhouse is Sam Elliott, hands down. And he should be I was another one, Ghost Rider. Oh, my God. Ghost Rider 1 was, except when I'm like a Mephisto, I'm like, no. But you had Peter Fonda, Sam Elliott, and Nick Cage, and you couldn't make that work. It's kind of like, you know, Sean, you know, Staple, you know, I'm going to bring it up here. The 5-issue set of DC Sword and Sorcery. You telling me that's the best thing that Jim Starlin, Bernie Wrightson, Al Milgrom, and Howard Chaykin could come up with was those 5 issues? That was terrible comic one, but I can't believe that movie didn't work out. Ghost Rider. And the second one, Spirit of the Vengeance, turn it off. Don't even go.
That was
awful. And I'm a huge Ghost Rider fan, and
yeah,
I was excited when they had Idris Elba play Caretaker, but God, that movie was.
Made Curtis Slade. They should have made him Curtis Slade. So, and then, yep. But you know, the MCU has a few misses in there, and I agree with the Iron Man. Kind of the way they made Whiplash was kind of weak. I mean,
Yeah, he was weak sauce.
He was really. They kind of made him okay. All we have to do is do our repulse together. Whiplash didn't. No. But again, he might not have been the best character to bring in as the second Iron Man. I mean, the first one being Ironmonger, okay, I get it. But you jumped a whole lifetime of Mark II, Mark IV, Mark VI, Mark VIII of Iron Man in the first Iron Man. You show Mark I and Mark II, and then he fights Ironmonger, who, and anybody knows the comic, Ironmonger would have killed any of those early Iron Man suits because Ironmonger was way stronger than anything else. But then they did War Machine pretty good. I like Don Cheadle. I think Terrence Howard kind of was too calm about it. Rhodey was always nuts. Remember, Rhodey was always driving around those fast cars and fast women too. I mean, you have to remember he had the hots for every woman that walked by him, more than Tony. You know, they were pals from being, you know, sinners more than saints. You know. So that was good. And as far as Endgame, you know, people ask me about how I think Thanos was portrayed. I said Infinity War was great Thanos background story. Now they took a ton of liberties because he had he actually, in the comic, he's much crazier, you know. He's only doing this to get a woman.
Yeah.
You sit.
Yeah.
He only wants to snap his fingers to try to get in bed with, Lady Death. And we don't mean Lady Death in the Chaos comics. We mean Skeleton Lady Death from War is Hell. Terrible book.
I'll swap Lady Death in the Chaos comics
Now,
with the Death that he wanted.
anytime. I want to see that on screen. You probably can find it on screen, but you got to be careful with that one. But then I look at the one movie. I always say this: the perfect movie by MCU, strict to the comic, made it better. Winter Soldier, the best of the bunch.
Dude,
My favorite movie, hands down.
I agree with you, man.
Yeah.
That if you had to put a magnum opus on MCU movies, in my opinion, that would be the magnum opus. That movie could actually double as a spy movie, just an action adventure movie. It doesn't necessarily have to have superheroes in it.
You could take Steve Rogers, Captain America, and put anybody else in there, and it would have been a great movie regardless.
You could put John Wick in there, and it would have been just as good.
Yep. I mean, you had that there. I mean, it's kind of like, it reminds me of like the French Connection, the way it played out. It was just done. It had a plot. It had a storyline. It had the perfect characters, the casting. I mean, I didn't think watching First Avenger that guy was going to be the Winter Soldier. I was like, God, if they ever make the Winter Soldier, that guy's going to stink. Boy, was I wrong. I mean, so much. I'm such a big fan. That's my whole Winter Soldier area right there.
Wow.
Yeah. That's an artist drawing I got from an Inktober right there. And that, again, you're talking, look who the writers of that run were.
Yep, Brubaker.
Ed Brubaker, there's a Mount Rushmore of writers, and he's up there. I know everybody loves Jonathan Hickman, but to me, Ed Brubaker writes the songs. He's he's who he is, man. He writes
one thing about Winter Soldier was that it felt so different from every movie in the MCU. It felt more grounded. It felt more reality based. The whole thing with Hydra taking over S.H.I.E.L.D., that was just awesome storytelling, awesome twist. And I love that scene with Armin Zola.
Yeah, absolutely.
That was like one of the best exposition scenes I watched.
Yeah.
And the way they go through the newspaper clippings and all the stuff that was happening that led up to it, I was like, oh. And just the punchlines he was throwing at Cat was even funnier.
Oh man, it's my favorite MCU movie, and it's my favorite, like, Empire Strikes Back being one, Godfather 1 and 2, and then I'd probably throw Winter Soldier up there, because when I remember going to the movie, watching that with the Ed Brubaker Captain America outfit and everything, with that shirt on, and I'm sitting there watching this movie, and at the end of that movie, I went with the girl who wasn't my wife at the time, who never saw a comic book movie in her life, never read a comic book ever, and she said it was absolutely most incredible movie. And I kind of give credit to Guardians of the Galaxy too, for the same thing, of being absolutely taking the chance on Guardians of the Galaxy, doing an entire film based on C-list characters at the time. You have to remember, before Annihilation Conquest, the comics came out, nobody cared about the Guardians of the Galaxy. Yeah, there were Drax fans. Like, I was a big fan of Drax from Annihilation, but when the Conquest happened and he joins with Star-Lord and Gamora, I'm like, what is this? That was a great run. Again, Abnett and Lanning, you can't, Dan Abnett knows how to write. You get a good writer, you follow that. And that's the one thing I hope MCU does going forward. Doctor Strange, absolutely perfect right there. I mean, I was totally against Doctor Who being Doctor Strange, but Benjamin Cumberbatch I wish he was a little more arrogant, a little more prickish, because Doctor Strange in the comic, he didn't talk. The reason why he wasn't an Avenger, he hated them, hated the Avengers, caused them a problem makers and everything else, called them weak, didn't, even the scene in Ragnarok with Thor, that is the best Doctor Strange portrayal, when he's like, okay, what's your deal? And he keeps bouncing Thor around. That's what Strange did in the comics. He astral projected himself anywhere he wanted to, and he would piss off the Avengers. There's a whole run of Avengers versus Defenders, about the arresting of Hulk and everything else. And I think
You know,
Civil War did a good job too.
I want to bring up the point of Guardians of the Galaxy. You're right. Not too many people cared about them, but prior to the movie, and I will say this. Marvel versus Capcom 3. When they put Rocket Raccoon in, I was like, who the fuck is Rocket Raccoon? I was like, who the fuck is this guy? I've never heard. And I know Rocket Raccoon been around for years.
Yeah.
But he ain't been prevalent like that.
No.
And, I wasn't reading Annihilation Conquest at the time of the Guardians run. So I see Rocket Raccoon. I'm like, fuck, they put a rocket in this. It's like he's just a Mega Man, shooting guns and shit.
Yeah, he was. I compared Rocket Raccoon one time to Puck.
Gene Judd.
Yep. I just said he's there. He's there for the relief. But
yeah, the comic relief.
Yeah, and the first Guardians, the Guardians, the ones that they'd show with Sylvester Stallone and those guys, and Starhawk and everything else like that. That's badass. But what they did after Conquest, Abnett and Lanning, made me love the Guardians of the Galaxy. So when the movie was announced, I remember Comic Shop saying, "This won't work. This is MCU's dumbest idea because they just don't care if they have the rights to them. Nobody knows who the Guardians of the Galaxy are. You damn well know now." Oh, the Hasselhoff Nick Fury, classic.
The movie is our best with his eyes.
That was a rough one. I always want to see, somebody's got to put out all those movies again. Put them on Disney. Let's do it. Let's see that Captain America with the see-through shield. Come on, why not?
With the
motorcycle helmet. Come on.
Yeah. Who was that? Red Brown.
Yeah, he's always doing cons because he doesn't do anything else. He even says he shows up in the costume every time.
Wasn't it two of them though? Because they had a Captain America movie.
Yeah, the one in the 90s with that Italian Red Skull.
Okay, yeah. Okay.
Yep, the Italian Red Skull. I forgot about that.
You see Red Skull at the beginning of his normal form, and then next thing you know, you see him in an Italian suit and shit, looking all gangster. And I'm like, the fuck?
Now, do you guys remember the Hulk TV series when Thor showed up?
Yep.
Yeah.
Dude. Now, as a Thor fan, I was like, this is going to be good. That guy's like the dad from Wizards and Waverly Place. I remember he was on some show, and he's in a couple of movies now. But back then, you wearing a fur? He was wearing.
Yeah, that was weird.
That was bad. No, and
he was pretty fun in that, though.
It was actually pretty good. The fight scene was, for the time, it was just before Trial of the Hulk. I think it was. That leads into the Trial of the Incredible Hulk. I grew up on that. The piano exit scene. The whole deal.
The lonely thing.
Yeah, boy. Except calling him David. I didn't get that part.
David Bruce Banner.
Now that's a movie. The Ang Lee Hulk.
Oof. Man, I watched that once and I never watched it again.
I hated how they did the Absorbing Man. Well, we don't know if he was the Absorbing Man or not, but Nick Nolte.
Yeah.
That was just dumb to me. Like, the dogs were stupid.
Dogs were dumb.
Extremely dumb. Like a gamma radiated chihuahua. Like, really?
I watched
that
movie
much liberties
once.
Right there. It's like we have a character who's green and big, fill around the story. And then they did that. And he likes Betty Ross. And was it Jennifer?
I felt at the time I was like, I'm watching this. I'm like, is this movie ever gonna end? It felt like the longest movie ever.
And it looks like what we're looking. It's like what we look like now to everybody else. That's the movie. They kept doing panels throughout the whole movie. Don't do that. I'm getting confused.
I was so bored to death. I'm like, ain't no true Hulk moments in this movie. He fights some dogs. Whatever.
And I do think the Ed Norton Hulk doesn't get enough credit for being what it was. I think Ed Norton was a pretty good banner until we saw Ruffalo. But boy, what they did to Hulk now, they kind of neutered him, man.
Yeah.
They didn't. He did not have a good return in Endgame. I don't like Professor Hulk. That's my thing. I prefer my Hulk dumb.
They didn't even give us Professor Hulk from the comics. They gave us comedic Professor Hulk.
Yeah.
In wrestling, that's what you would call bad booking. Because
Yeah.
I was really ticked off in Infinity War when he got mollywopped, man. He got drugged by Thanos. I'm like,
But that did happen in the comic, so.
yeah. I said, what now?
Well, here's the thing in the comic that Thanos in some issues wanted to fight. That's how he gets to the Avengers in like 125 is he wanted to fight the Terrax. The Terrax was the Hulk, which was from Terran, or they called Earth Terran, right? They didn't call Earth in the comics in the cosmic area of the 70s. They called like the Captain Marvel's 26 through 32 and the Daredevil 105 through 107 maybe. And the Warlocks 9, 10, 11, and 12. Before they even get to that 2-in-1 Thor thing, Thanos heard about Hulk and wanted to fight Hulk. And when he did, he already had the Cosmic Cube at the time. So,
Oh, wow. Okay.
you know. So that was a little different. That was the other thing. I always thought that Tesseract was the Cosmic Cube.
Yeah, same.
And
I
then
didn't like them using the Tesseract because it looked like the Cosmic Cube, and I'm like, how are you going to introduce the Cosmic Cube later when people are going to think that's the Tesseract?
right. And the other thing is, I wish
Plus,
Thanos.
and another thing, I don't want to interrupt, but
Yeah.
they already introduced AIM, but we didn't even see MODOK yet.
No MODOK. And that's what I was afraid of when I saw Armin Zola in Winter Soldier. I said, that better not be MODOK. That better not be MODOK. I'm glad they killed him off with the missile. It looks like our time is over.
Oh, man.
That's funny. That's good.
Yeah, they
What?
gave us a Noodles Hulk for sure.
Yep, neutered Hulk. Yep. You know, we didn't mention Daredevil at all, and that's probably a good thing.
You know, the only thing I'm going to tell you I liked about Daredevil, and I'm in the minority on this one, I think Michael Clark Duncan was a pretty decent Kingpin.
Absolutely. I kind of like the director's cut, if you can get it, is better, and it is a good movie. It's a different ending. It's a little different storyline. It's a lot more. It's liberties, but there were good liberties that were taken. Where you say good booking right there, but you know, it's funny because that movie Elektra would be the same thing as Terry Taylor going to the WWF and putting on a Red Rooster outfit. That's how bad Elektra was.
This man, bro, Red Rooster.
Oh, he did.
The Red Rooster.
That's bad booking right there. That's bad altogether. That's the worst of the worst.
It's South fame.
That's almost as bad as the Von Erich coming in with the Texas Tornado and spinning around like he's what's his name? The Russian dude from Street Fighter that spins around with the
Zangief.
Zangief. That's what Terry Tornado's running around. He fought 2 matches and then quit.
I like the Texas Tornado. You know what I mean? He wasn't this was before I knew of him prior to WWF.
Right.
At first I knew him as the Texas Tornado. So I liked him when he did his little spinning punch and Mr. Perfect will oversell it like it got flipping around 100 times.
Oh yeah.
Didn't he call it a discus punch or something?
That's better than it's Sweet Chin music was pretty funny, except when he did it on that ladder that time and he fell off.
Oh yeah.
That's good stuff. Yeah.
Oh man, we don't want to get into wrestling talk.
No, actually, I just watched all the episodes of the Dark Side of the Ring.
Oh, that Owen Hart one.
Some of them are tearjerkers, but man, Dino Bravo one. I tell people the Dino Bravo one, that one's scary. That was with Rick Martel and the Canadian group because I was on the East Coast and in New York, and I remember that show was on Sea Caucus. That wrestling promotion was on WOR. With Rick Martel was one of them, and Dino Bravo was always champion and strong and huge and big. And then they had a couple other Canadian, the Rougeau brothers, Jacques and Raymond Rougeau. Those guys were there, and
all American boys.
They were Canadian.
All American boys,
and they were Canadian. Guys were Tim Horton drinking Canadians, Hockey loving
man.
Tim Hortons Canadians. So
Yeah, that Dino Bravo was kind of depressing. The man got shot 7 times in the head. That's brutal.
and it apparently he didn't die instantly. Like that's how big he was. I remember hearing the story that he got shot with 2 different guns, and he died like they came and he was still alive like this, like angry, you know. Yeah. They one. All right, that new Conan movie I saw with the Aquaman fella, the cute fella. What's his name? The one my sister.
Jason Momoa.
That fella. That Conan started out real good, but I didn't like the rest of it. Did you? Sean, did you like that Conan? No. Nothing beats Arnold, Will Chamberlain, and Andre the Giant any day.
James Earl Jones.
James Earl Jones, that's it. Grace Jones.
But people give Conan the Destroyer a lot of crap. I love Conan the Destroyer.
That's a good movie. That's a good movie.
Not as great as the first, but I still thoroughly enjoyed it.
Yep.
I mean, come on, you got Will Chamberlain and Andre the freaking Giant in there, man. I mean,
can't go wrong with that.
Can't go wrong.
Andre. Oof. Good stuff. So what character do you want to see in a movie more than ever that hasn't been done? Hasn't been done.
Oh man.
I got mine. I hope it's
There's a lot of characters that hasn't been done yet.
Yeah.
I wish they can just, eliminate that curly haired fuck from existence so I could say we could get an Iron Fist.
That was terrible. I tried that Danny Rand. I tried that character as Danny Rand too, like trying to say maybe he's a good Danny. No, he wasn't. He was not good. But I will say, the second half of season 1, Luke Cage, is the best thing that Netflix did.
Which one? Season 1?
Season 1. No, season 2. The second episode. One when they introduced
season 1 started out great, and then they introduced Diamondback, and then Nosedive.
Yeah, the Diamondback.
They killed Cottonmouth. I'm like,
yeah, that's the part that I aggravated the most. Like, you kill Cottonmouth, who, by the way, in the comic is way much cooler and has a big harem of women all around him and everything else.
Jaw teeth.
Yep.
When I think of him, I think of Jaws from James Bond.
Good call. And then it was funny when they were doing that. I thought that woman in Civil War was the same character she was. The actress. I thought it was the same character. They just recast it, and I'm like, oh, it would have been cooler the other way, like linking the Netflix series to the MCU.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but they failed to do that.
Yeah,
and that was the thing.
Punisher, still like the Punisher.
Season 1 was better than season 2.
Yep, I agree with you on that.
But other than that, I'm trying to think, because I know there's a bunch of characters that hasn't been. Most of them on my mind is like more recast and redo. I want a proper Bishop, man.
He looked good.
He looked good, but they ain't do much with him.
Yeah, they gave him 2 lines in the movie.
Like, when I think of Bishop, man, the first thing that comes to my mind is when he showed up in the cartoon.
Okay.
And he was a badass in the cartoon, man. In the animated series. I loved that. And yeah, I agree with animation. I want to see Galactus in the movie, goddamn it.
Not a goddamn cloud.
Fuck that cloud.
That's the worst. That's the thing. You can the disappointment that day. It's like finding out there's no Santa Claus that day. That was how bad it was. I was like, it wasn't fair. They shouldn't have done that.
Yeah, I was heavily disappointed that day too.
You know what the Galactus cloud represented? That represented Hulk Hogan giving Kevin Nash the finger poke of doom to all of us, man.
That's it.
That's what that was, man.
That was what it was. Yeah.
Kevin Nash cattle prodding Goldberg.
Yeah.
That's even worse.
It's like Kevin Nash will never get over the fact that he was a dentist at some point. Remember that. Remember he was a dentist.
No, that was Kane.
Oh, Kane was the dentist. That's right. What was he first?
He was Vinny Vegas and
Vinny
Oz.
Vegas. That's who he was.
And Oz.
Oz. That's it. That's it. Oz. Man, there was some tough times in that fucking oof. Yeah. My favorite wrestling thing, and this goes back a ways, was adorable Adrian Adonis went from the Terror in leather to whatever adorable Adrian overnight. And Adonis was if you don't remember the Terror in leather, he was Roddy Piper's partner. He was bad as Cowboy Bob Orton was before Piper's Pit. And then Adrian came out and did the flower shop. It was just, why'd you do that to poor Adrian? He was a class act wrestler. I mean, great. Most underrated of that era was definitely Adonis. I thought he was just ridiculously good. And making Brutus Beefcake changing characters 3 times, including to be like some bearded wannabe Hulk Hogan, the fake one, whatever that was.
That's
The
what
Disciple. That was terrible. Man, we know who
Booty Man was terrible.
He was the booty man too. Yeah, that's right.
Booty Man, yeah.
And he was the
Zodiac, the Butcher, the man with no name.
Yeah.
Well,
the best they tried to make a jobber into a good character, like Steve Lombardi all of a sudden becomes the Brooklyn Brawler. We're like, man, you haven't won a match in 6 years. Now you're gonna.
Oh man,
that was terrible.
We could talk about the worst gimmicks ever, man.
Yeah, they're worse than some of the gimmicks in comics. They're worse than the Chromium covers, man.
That's the Chromiums. I'm curious what they. There's a question. What are they going to do with that Adam Warlock tease? Will he appear? How will he appear?
My guess is this is a guess, that the as Guardians of the Galaxy, you're going to hear a reintroduction of Angela, because they're flying around doing whatever, then Guardians there. And those people, and Angela's going to come back, and maybe Magus, and then he comes first as Magus and then becomes Adam Warlock, maybe because he's bad or whatever. And then he's just being controlled by somebody else, maybe. Warlock would have to be... It's a tough character to do because he's manufactured himself. I mean, I don't know. That would be good if they do it in Guardians 3. I guess it's 3.
I mean...
Because you could do the Thor, yeah.
Yeah, with Thor, you could do the Thor versus Warlock. I hope he worked himself back into shape by that time.
Well, Warlock is technically then Annihilation Conquest, Warlock is the Guardian of the Galaxy. He's the leader of the Guardians of the Galaxy. He becomes Magus again. And then he becomes, Magus, who I still say is underrated.
That would be interesting to see. They introduce him as a villain, and he's the Magus first, and then, like you said, he transforms into Warlock. Adam Warlock, because that way you could still do the villainous side of Magus. People think he's Warlock, but that's Magus. And then some things happen, and then he becomes Warlock.
Yeah. Well, maybe that multiverse of madness is going to be. I assume Nightmare is the villain. Did they officially announce it? And you could cast anybody as Nightmare. He's just a vision, You can cast a male, female, anything. You can just make a voice and make it. You can make him a cloud. You can make Nightmare a cloud because he doesn't really exist, but you can't make Galactus a cloud. Back to this.
I don't want to see no clouds, man.
No Galen, poor guy.
I don't want to see no clouds, man.
I mean, all right. In the comic, at one point, he's a cube. Remember that. Remember, he's just a box. So... Galen's living in that box, but I can't see that. Warlock would be really good.
Yeah,
with that cast too. What? And by the way, was Gamora on that ship at the end? I watch it every time. She's not. Where does she go off to? We gonna get
the leader scene show her walking off while they all sulking on Tony Stark. Where's
she going? Jersey? There's no spaceships left. They got destroyed by Thanos. The only spaceship they had was. Rocket. I don't
know. Maybe she found something.
Not the Milano. What did they call the new one? The Benatar.
It'd be interesting if she did go to Jersey. That's like an alien state in itself.
Exactly.
Oh man,
worse than Iowa.
See, Jersey always get the bad rap.
Oh, because it's a sewer. It's where when you flush your toilet, it goes to Jersey.
I remember that real Ghostbuster episode when, they say, "Oh man, we could destroy New York and even parts of Jersey," and Bankman said, "And what will we do without Jersey?" That's pretty much sums it up. Pretty much sums up Jersey, man.
There you go.
Man, so
Fun stuff.
I'm ready to get off. We've been on for 3 hours. It's been fun. That's what this show is all about, just having fun conversating. And we just got joined by the uncanny Kyle Walker.
Oh, hey, the Prince. We're with royalty, everybody.
Yeah, man. We getting ready to sign off, but if you can, watch this on the replay. I'd like to thank JD coming on the show. Hopefully you have another free Saturday whenever you can. If you have a free Saturday, just hit me up. You're always welcome to join.
Sword and Sorcery. I definitely want to join the next one of those. I'm
Yeah,
trying to get
I'll definitely try and do that next weekend.
Very cool.
So, and then
that might be tough. I got a bed set to put together. I got a big all honey-do list. It's
Al, Dusty Brick Brown. Always great to have you on there. Of course, we had Steve on here earlier. He was having some issues, and Rob Wurst joined us for a little bit.
Oh, awesome.
You enjoy your weekend too, Sanimation. Everybody enjoy your weekend. It's Memorial Day weekend. So have fun, enjoy yourselves, be safe. And this is your boy Sean, Stay Puft 1983, signing out.